You're a winner. And you know what winners say. Fuck the losers who can't take a joke. Man the fuck up.
And now, your mama knows.
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon!
What's going on, guys? This is the Now Your Mama Knows, and this is the trick. Oh, wait.
It's more like it. You guys probably couldn't hear what I was just saying, but guys, it's 90-something degrees. It's been like that all week, and we're gonna have a pool party. Who else is doing this? I don't know, but I think today stream is gonna get wet and wild. But also I want to have panelists. So guys, anybody could jump in and join this show. This is what makes this very different from a lot of other shows. And I know some other people has been adopting that, and I think it's really cool. Allow the viewers to jump in the shows and be a part of what you're doing. So first things first, guys, I'm the master of vlogging, and that's why you can see the backyard of my house. Guys, I've been vlogging everything on this channel since 2011. Check it out, guys. And you guys have been able to see my life. Hell, if you paid attention, you probably could find out where I live at. But guys, I'm the most authentic person on the internet because I bring you guys my real life. So for all the people who are hating and mad at me, it's just because I'm telling the truth, baby. I'm telling the truth. The man that will walk around in his backyard and show his house, I have nothing to hide. So when you guys feel like, oh, he's hating, bro, I'm not hating. I'm being honest. Anyway, but guys, I'm also the all-purpose champ. And that means that I'm a gamer. I'm used to whooping people in games because it's what I do. Yesterday was a bad day for me though, guys. I got beat in a bunch of games. But with that being said, guys, all-purpose champ is my gamer tag on everything from PlayStation to Xbox to Stadia, wherever my digital footprint was at. That is my gamer tag. Check me out. Send me a friend invite. Now, the last thing is the cowboy. And guys, I got the old cowboy hat on. Oh yeah. Guys, I am the cowboy. That's my personality. That's my persona. It's still me, but it's turned up to 885. So guys, what I like to do is just be a personality because I told all of you guys that I'm a natural born entertainer. Entertaining is what I like to do. You guys get the martial arts. Oh, you're going to see more than that? You're going to see more than that. You guys get to dancing. Guys, I'm here to entertain. I know a lot of people are here for the news and they're here for the in-depth gaming, and that's fine. But guys, we're going to have fun because I like to entertain. So with that being said, I already played the intro. We already had my man Chucky out here. I did things in a different order today so we could get right into it. Now remember, anybody can join the panel. Guys, I took the liberty to pin the link to join in the chat. All you have to do is click that button and come on and join your boy, because we're going to be talking about some topics today. So by now, a lot of people know that I made a video that was 20 minutes long. Yeah, and I just talked about my grievances with Stadia. Listen, I still love Stadia. I'm still a fan, still a founder. They can't take that from me. Can't take my controller, right? But I have my own issues. And as I always say, I'm a talkative individual with a big mouth. And if something bothers me, you're going to hear about it, whether you like it or not. But I appreciate all the support for the people who stood up and said, no, he's keeping it real. Next. Guys, we're going to talk about subscription services in gaming. Do you fear them? Do you think it's evil? Oh, and what was cool was Doc Dark had a video about it, so I thought, let me talk about it as well. And then we're also going to talk about fanboys. Guys, what's a fanboy? Let's get into it, because I hear a lot of stuff, and I'm going to define what a fanboy means to me. And I'd love for you guys to let me know what fanboy means to you. So let's go check out the chat. Let's see who is in the building. All right. We got my man Sanchez up in here. Up in here. Up in here. Said, let fanboy, cowboy, let's go. You hater, bro. Yo, my man. Mike is in the building. And I call you cowboy. Yo, let's go. Ellis is in the building. Gamers was good with y'all. That's what's up. I'm here for the dancing. Sanchez, you know I love the dancing, man. Guys, there goes the the proverbial link that you could click on and join the panel. Hey, I got it. Don't worry, I'm gonna do some hit thrusts, man. I got you. Said my show hard to stop it. Hold on, Mr. Urban Roll rhyme. He said my rhyme's hard to stop it. I rap about various topics. From here to primo in the tropics. Smack the black off you. Now your mama knows. Well, I guess that's supposed to be a now your mama knows. Performing drop kicks. Punching your eye out the socket. All right, let me do it over. My rhyme's so hard. All right, whatever. I'm just going to move past it. All right, anyway. Yo, we got my guy Sean L. is also in the building. That's what's up. So, guys, I think it's time. Let me switch this over. Oh, man. Hold on. My man, that could be seen from here. The Tatooine that's going out from anywhere to everywhere. It's your guy, my guy, the accent guy. None other than host.
I would have thought you would have dropped them bars a lot more solid, cowboy. You know, when I
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know, Mr. Urban World. Well, Mr. Urban World is usually on point, but today his writing was really off, so it was hard for me to read.
Yeah, usually he puts the backslashes so we can sort of identify when to sort
of... and his spelling was a little off. But Firebird, what's going
on? Just chilling, just having a lovely day, just messing around. More like cleaning up, should I say.
Okay.
I dropped some videos in Discord that should be shameful in tech, so I put some... wires and stuff like that to sort of
man. Hey, listen.
Management.
In the Discord, they jumped on you quick. Like, hold up, this is like the Matrix, unplugged. But hold on, guys, hold on. It don't stop there. I told you anybody could join. Let's bring in none other than Sean L.
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, Sean.
All right, I'm ready for it today.
Hey, Melon ain't screw you over today.
No, not today, and I'm using the phone, so that's a shocker.
Okay. I wonder, so I'm using my phone. Like, could it be something, phone to phone?
I wonder if it is, or, sometimes Melon just iffy.
It's iffy. Well, hold up. Before it is iffy because I'm using the desktop version. So let me switch real quick. It's everybody's watching. It's going to go to like the regular blank screen because I just want to switch real quick. Because what happens now is when I press the button to, since I'm on my phone and it's desktop version, when I press the button to read comments, it covers you guys. But when I switch off of desktop mode, it actually reshapes itself. So give me one quick second, everybody. All right, we're coming back. There we go. Now this is better for me to actually see and read chat. So thanks for everybody. All right, Mr. Urban World, what are you saying? Is this a hot tub stream? Hey, Ron, you know we get in trouble for hot tub streams. But actually, he said, get your glasses. No, your spelling was off, man, a little bit. Oh, I read Andy. Malunkus. That's a name, mom's. All right, whatever. So let me see if I can hear you guys still loud and clear.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. Sean?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, we're good. Yo, Alex. I said Alex. Ellis. He said Discord going on Xbox is a good move. Hey, listen, I think that is a good... Listen, why not, right? At this point, I feel like the PlayStation and Xbox is so similar. Just let them have some of the same stuff. Maker said, rest in peace, Ubisoft. So Ubisoft, guys, let's get into a little bit of news. I think Ubisoft, they have some delays, right? Avatar is delayed. What else? What else? I think, is that it, or was it something else? I know Avatar was delayed.
Got canceled.
What got canceled?
Tom Clancy Frontlines.
Ooh.
And a lot of people didn't like the idea of the gameplay of Skull and Bones.
So is that still coming, though? That's still coming, right?
It's still coming, but, with the features that has been displayed for gameplay, a lot of people think it's going to be delayed. But
right. Now, here's my hot take. I got a feeling Stadia's not going to get Roller Champions. Because the reason why I'm saying is, I could be wrong, but I know I've heard that Roller Champions isn't doing so good, and there's still not even a date. So I feel like, what's the point of Ubisoft bringing it to Stadia if it's not even doing good and Stadia has a small player base? Like, what would be the point? That's what I'm thinking. So Holtz is the Red Rooster. What are your guys' thoughts on that, though?
I think it's gonna come, but I believe right now the reason why they didn't do the full launch and they've been doing staggered is to test the interest and like maybe even the infrastructure.
I mean, so here's what I don't get, right? For instance, right? All right, check this out, Sean. We know For Honor isn't coming to Stadia. Why? I don't know. And if you say like, well, infrastructure, no. Roller Champions is, well, Roller Champions is not in the cloud, but I'll just stick to For Honor, right? For Honor's in the cloud on everything. It's in the cloud on PlayStation. Even PlayStation's new janky service, right? It's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox or xCloud. Like, I don't get it. Yo, Rock is in the building.
I would say, besides Extinction, what all do they have that's across on everything?
Right. I guess Assassin's Creed games.
But on the multiplayer side.
Oh, you're saying on multiplayer. Yeah, you know what? That's a great point. And I'm glad to have different people, right, on here. Because you would have me spewing in my mouth and you're like, oh, that's a good point. But no, that's a good point. Because they're not really known for multiplayer games, right? Their bread and butter is Assassin's Creed. Well, hold up. Watch Dogs had a multiplayer mode, and that was on everything, right? That's probably about it I could think of.
Yeah, I don't think online was like cross. I don't think online was crossplay though.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so you're just talking about cross. I'm not even talking about crossplay. I'm just talking about bringing a game, period, right? That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't need For Honor to be crossplay. I mean, I don't personally, but I guess people will want it to be on Stadia. But Mr. Urban is always changing the topic as usual, but he said, breaking news, Mike Tyson said he thinks he's going to pass away. That is pretty crazy. David Wilson is in the building, so what's going on? And also, Sanchez said, I'm a fanboy of Mr. Urban World Channel, the one that's non-existent that we can't find. Let's see. Maker Chaos said, Ubisoft really been struggling with their games lately. You know what's crazy? I remember Ubisoft showed Scalar, and I was blown away, right? And then, like, a month later, their stock went down. I was like, damn, I thought people would be trying to buy them because of that. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, but I know for a while they were very adamant about not wanting to get purchased or scooped up by anybody. And I think they were looking for more of a partnership with someone. So I can see that happening more than a full-fledged buyout. I think with the reason why a lot of these projects may be getting delayed is because they're trying to do too much. Look at all the games that they announced, and they're trying to push and pull all around the same time. Yeah.
Cloud Validation said Roller Champions has been confirmed 100% coming in August. John just posted out the confirmation documentation. All right, cool. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I didn't see that. So that's another good thing to have people in chat that could throw stuff up. So that's cool. He said For Honor would be dead on arrival. Very little interest in that game. So why waste the funding? Very little interest in the game for who? You? Because that's my favorite Ubisoft game.
Well, I would like Ubisoft to start working with partnerships like they've done with Nintendo. A lot of people never believed that Nintendo Mario versus Rabbids sort of Kingdom battle would have worked, and now we actually got Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. So I would love to see Ubisoft extending their titles to be more inclusive with other exclusives on the service, should I say. So maybe spice it up with Sony in one partnership, spice it up with Xbox, and see what they actually can bring to their titles or services going forward.
Good point. And then David Wilson was just saying there's a bunch of multiplayer Ubisoft games he's putting out there, but I think Sean put the caveat where he was saying crossplay is what he was specifying. And Maker said Roller Champions is dead at the moment. And Rock is also agreeing with Cloud Validation. Cloud Validation, whenever I play Roller Champions, there's hundreds of people playing. I'm not sure what your description of dead is, kind of like you said Stadia is dead. Huh? Good. I mean, people. So a dead now is like a cliche term. So it's more of a newer term too. I don't use that because it's kind of like a more like newer term. Obviously, I'm 46 years old. So like when I say something's dead, that means they like for instance, Evolve is dead. If anybody got a chance to play that game, I used to love that game. It was like the first that I remember, the first asymmetric game. You got one person is the creature, four people are the humans, and the creature got to keep evolving to get big enough to kill the humans. But at first, if the humans catch the creature before it evolves, they could kill it, right? So that game got pulled. So they stopped support, and then they pulled the servers. So you can't even play online. For instance, Anthem, people say dead. I don't say it's dead yet because the server's still up. I can still play with my friends. Yeah, I'm not getting more content, but I can still play with my friends. People say Friday the 13th is dead. Nope, the server's still up. I can still play it now. I was playing it the other day on the PlayStation thing. So it all depends on what you call dead. But again, dead nowadays is the cliche, meaning it just don't have a large enough player base, I guess, as some people would want to see. But anyway, guys, it's hot out here, and I got to get in the pool. So let me go take myself to the pool, baby. Sandy, you're not even in the water.
What kind of stream is this? I couldn't reverse my shirt the other day.
Bro, you should have brought your swim trunks. You know?
There we go. That's exactly. I should have brought me goggles, me flap cap, and shorts.
Yeah. So hold on real quick. I'm gonna need Sandy to help me with this.
Tell stream.
Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I could do it on this. Here, let's see. I might not be able to do it on this thing, and I don't want to keep switching. So whatever, it is what it is. So I was trying to switch. Oh wait, did I do it? No, I was trying. Oh, I was trying to switch it around. But then I got to go out and go back in, which actually doesn't take that long, but still. Anyway, but let me give my wife the phone so I could jump in. You know what? I think I'm gonna do it anyway, guys. You know me, I got to be silly. Hold on real quick.
It's got to be epic.
It got to be epic. You got to be epic. You're right. Yep, got to be epic.
I guess it was.
I can feel it on my head. All right, so hold on, boys. It got to be epic. Holtz has spoken. Holtz has spoken, people. All right, hold on. God darn, hold up, wait, what just happened? Okay, I'm good. All right, never mind. All right, hold on, guys. This thing is just, it's not the easiest thing to get through. Oh wait, it switched back. All right, there we go. All right, I think I'm good now. I apologize, guys. All right, here we go. Let's see. We're gonna touch this. We're gonna switch this. There we go. Get this out the way. See my wife just chilling. All right, Sandy, would you do the honors? I'm gonna dive in. Hold this for me. Hold my cowboy hat for me. Can you see it clear?
I don't know, the sun's in my face. And my float is turning around.
Well, can you see me now?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah. But my float is turning. My float is turning. Hold on.
Got me?
I don't know. I can't see in the sun with my face.
Gotta make sure you got it. Right here, just turn it this way. Sun is that way. Is the sun still in your face?
No.
Alright, cool. Got me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Oh, Sandy got me. Jumping in right there, okay? Let's do it, baby. Now your mama knows. Gotta be happy. I'll be going out. All right. Woo-hoo! All right, hold on. Keep it there. Let's get some, guys. This thing right here.
What you mean?
Guys, make sure you watch my review. If you go into the beach, the pool, the lake, this is what you need. All right? All right, let's do a little bit of stuff for the people, Sandy. All right, you're not getting this nowhere else. Cannonball. Somebody say cannonball. Woo! All right. Hold on. Hold on. You get on real quick. It's this way, right? Ah. Oh! Hold on, guys. Hold on. Wait. They need a handstand. Here we go. Oh, look at the gentleman. Woo! All right. All right, get on here. Got it? There, stop laughing. All right. Come on. No.
Can't see you, so I'm in my eyes.
All right, I'm coming. All right, let me get my hat. Woo. Oh. All right, hold up. Let me come to you. All right, hold on, guys. All right. All right, let me switch this back. Oh, it's all good. It'll be all right. All right, guys, let me get everybody back on. Hold on real quick. All right, get the boys back on. All right, now I'm done with my nonsense. Yeah, I'm done. All right, let me get a mic check from you guys.
I have to say, Cowboy, that was a 6 out of 10. The speed was great. The jump was all right, but the finesse landing in the pool didn't do it for me. There was not enough finesse and sparkle in the water. 6 out of 10. Okay.
All right, I'm sorry, host.
I'm more impressed with the snorkel.
Hey, listen, you gotta check it out. I got a review, man. That thing is amazing. I bought it probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and we take it everywhere I go, whether it's a beach, lake, pool. It's pretty cool, man. You can stay underwater. Obviously, you can't go super deep because the snorkel has to stay out, but it's made to fully cover your whole face. So that's the special part of it.
Okay.
Oh, Sandy wanted me to show y'all her big giraffe. She is a big fan of giraffes. All right, anyway, let me get into the chat. I see my guy ISO Motion Gaming is in the building, and Maze World is in the building. So let's get into it. So, hosts, can you do me the favor? Said I'm 5 minutes behind, but Evolve was great. Evolve was great. Hosts, what topic are we starting with? Do you guys got a specific topic out of these ones that we should jump into first?
I like the idea of the fanboys. I would like to lead with that because it's a topic that I think a lot of people can jump aboard because we've all got opinions and perspectives.
Right.
And you know.
I like it. Sean, you good with that one?
Yeah, fanboys is great.
Nice. All right, guys in the chat. What's up, Blitz? I see you in there, man. We are gonna we're gonna talk about fanboys. So what are fanboys? So reason why I thought of that is because I did get a lot of people who are a little upset with me for my video. But I will say this, guys, my video is all I did was took clips from stuff I already said, right? So it's not like it's brand new, but I wanted to, and I wanted to make didn't make like a brand new take, then it's kind of like, all right, now I'm just complaining, or now I'm just going on and regurgitating, unless it's live. If it's live and somebody asks me, like David had a good question, right, the other day, Wilson. He said, what's your gripe with Stadia? I said, bro, my only gripe with Stadia is the games. I still love the tech. I still play it more than my PlayStation 5. It's just the games. That's it. So anyway, I thought of it. I was like, yo, there's some people who want to kill me. Like, you know me, guys, I like to call people out. Cloudy V in the chat. He said the other day as I'm playing PlayStation, right? I was playing Stray. He said, why you make PlayStation look better than when you stream Stadia? I was like, wow, this is a stretch from a fanboy. So, you know, Cloudy V is my guy. I love him. But you're still a fanboy. So anyway, I felt like, man, let's talk about fanboys, right? So I feel like fanboys are people who are fans, but they go so extra that if they had an issue with said platform, they won't have an issue, right? But let's say you're an Eagles fan, right? And somebody's like, bro, the Eagles ain't win a championship. They only won one in like 50 years. You're like, wait, but they did this. Like, whoa, can you just acknowledge they won one championship in like 50 years? Can we just do that real quick? No, a fanboy don't want to acknowledge what you just said. They want to go past it. And it's like, dude, don't be a fanboy. Like, it's okay. So that's my definition of fanboy. Somebody who doesn't acknowledge any fault to their platform of choice. What about you, host?
Well, I first want to say it's not just fanboy. I don't like the word
Okay.
fanboy. It's sort of fangirl as well. But fanboy and fangirl to me is someone that
Right.
sort of is too enthusiastic about something that they're talking about. And
Okay.
yes, they can speak positive, but they easily get offended when someone sort of brings constructive criticism to what they like. So I feel like they're easily offended and easy to defend. So a fanboy or girl is that.
Right. I'm glad you spelled out fangirl because Purple Haze is a fangirl. So, guys, they keep saying they want the old cowboy. I keep telling them, y'all don't want the old cowboy. Hosts tell them that's not what they want, but apparently that's what they want. So I'm going back to the old cowboy. Y'all gonna see some trash talk 101 videos. So you know, as I'm just chilling and relaxing in life, I'm just calling it how it is. I'm not patting nobody on the butt anymore. I'm kicking them in the. All right, so I'm just calling it for what it is. Y'all gonna have to deal with me because that's apparently what they want. We want the old cowboy. You're being too fake. Before you would have called people out. You would have did this and that. Why you worrying about people's feelings? Okay, that's what you want.
But here's a
That's what you
question,
want.
just to say about fanboys and fangirls.
All right.
Are they different from early adopters?
Yes.
Oh, so
Early
Uh,
adopters. I'm gonna tell you why. Early
so hold on real
adopters are
quick before you jump into that.
okay.
So I would say what a fanboy or fangirl is a person that, like you said, they find no fault in anything, and whenever you bring up an issue with whatever it is that they're fanatics about, it's
Mm-hmm.
always some sort of deflection or
Mm.
way to attack you or something directly that you like. Um. So okay, go ahead. Do your early adopters thing.
Oh no, that's a really good description. And hold up, let me do one thing real quick, guys. Don't kill me, but give me one quick moment. Just real quick. I just want to do this. There you go. I just want to get us bigger on the screen, so we got more space. All right, let me go back to the old way. Sorry. All right, and guys, joining us would be none other than my man, F Cat. All right, so can I get a mic check too from you guys?
Mic check 1, 2, 3.
All right, we good. All right, what about you, host?
No, I said mic check 1, 2, 3.
All right, cool. All right, I just wanted to change my camera because it was so close up. So yeah, so the early adopter thing. Reason why I don't say that's a fanboy because I don't see how it will it, right? You could be an early adopter and like for instance, for me, right? I always buy every console day one, right? And when I bought the PlayStation 4 day one, the HDMI port wasn't connected. So I've always had good experience. And some people say, oh, don't buy stuff early because of the issues, right? So I bought it and it happened to be that the HDMI port wasn't connected from the inside. That was nothing I could do about it. So guess what? I had to send it back. I had to wait 2 weeks for it to go there, come back. It sucked, right? So I was complaining. I was like, yo, what the F, right? But if I was a fanboy, and I was a big fan of Sony, right? But I had to acknowledge that, yo, that wasn't cool. Now, I wasn't flipping tables or anything, but did acknowledge, like, yo, that's not cool.
Yeah, but I feel like my perception of a fanboy, or people that perceive me as a fanboy, for example, I might have a Stadia Founders badge, and I might speak about Stadia in a sort of negative point of view, but I still love Stadia. But then other people could still say, even though I'm sort of speaking in a negative light, they could say, oh, don't listen to him, he's a Stadia fanboy, he's a Stadia stan. And it's other people's perception what they define as a fanboy, even though I could not define myself as a fanboy. So it's a whole big, huge community thing in the gaming space, how the term fanboy or fangirl is lightly used or heavily used depending who you are.
Right. Right. I think that's a good point. So, nobody likes when they like stuff. And then,
Yep.
well, it takes a real mature person or a person that's just like they don't care to like something, have a lot of passion for something, and majority of people just dump on it, right? And yeah, I know that feeling because I love Stadia and I was a big Stadia fan, still am. But it sucked when people were just like, "This is trash. This is sucks. The internet not's good. You're not going to be able to play games. All that stuff, right?" It did suck, and it does make you cry out and want to lash out, I guess, right, or speak on it, like, "Yo, what the heck?" But I think it's still okay to acknowledge the faults. I think ISO said it pretty good. He said a fanboy can't take criticism, period. And that is the difference, though, Holtz. So, Holtz, when you mention the early adopters, again, when I mentioned my scenario of getting a PlayStation 4 day one and the HDMI port, so all I got was a blue screen. Nothing would work, right? So it was okay for me to be like, yo, what the hell? But if I was a fanboy, I'd be like, I mean, it's okay. I'll get another one in a month. And that's day one, getting a PlayStation 4, so I was pretty pissed off. But what could I do, right?
But with
I
this
would say there's a
perception,
difference. Oh, go ahead. Oh, it's my fault.
with this perception of like fanboys, what is the opposite to a fanboy? It can't be just default hater. There's got to be some in between opposite to a fanboy.
And Holtz, real quick, your volume, people are saying they can't hear you. Your volume is low. It did get low for me also. I don't know what changed when I was trying to switch stuff up.
I'll check
but
out 2 secs.
Okay.
But
Because
yeah,
Sean, you sound the same to me.
yeah, when you were talking about like the early adopter, how you was with the PS4, even though you knew that there was a hardware issue with your system,
Right.
that was cool to acknowledge that there's an issue, like there's an actual issue. I think the issue that comes up now is, well, my the games. The games point is all subjective. So like
Mhm.
for you, Stadia didn't have the games that you really wanted. After it, like it was always that problem, and we always knew that the big banging games, it was a toss up whether or not it was coming to Stadia.
Right.
And then at the beginning of the year, with those, it was like, yo, they weren't coming. Now they're starting to wrap back up towards the end of the year. Cool. But gaming itself, the issue becomes is all subjective. So like you're like, hey, they don't have the games I want. This isn't for me. I need to go elsewhere. Someone else may be like, yeah, okay, it didn't get Elden Ring, but to be honest, I can care less about Elden Ring. But if you say that, then you're seen as a Stadia stand, and the only
Right.
reason why
Right.
you're saying that is because your system didn't get necessarily Elden Ring. But I may enjoy playing, um, let's just say Lake. Lake may be a perfect game for me,
Right.
but because you're like, hey, that game is boring as heck, then all of a sudden I'm capping and standing for Stadia.
Yeah.
I think Holtz is right that there's an issue, but I guess when it come down to gaming and standing, so yes, like even 60 and 120 frames.
Hmm.
Um, I hear people calling out Stadia when the games come 30, and it's certain games you cannot play at 30 FPS. And then there's certain
Right.
things that once you do play at like 120 or 200 FPS, it's hard to even go back to 60. So I think it just become that's where I guess it's all just subjective, and that's where the hard part come in.
Right.
Because you can like something that I don't, but if I say I like it, I'm instantly a stan and you instantly a hater.
Right. You know what? So it's two parts, Sean. I think one, right? So I take me, I use myself as an example. So for me, Stadia, when I was an early adopter, right? I said this cloud thing looks cool because it's going to allow me to do what remote play couldn't. Allow me to play things away from home really well, right? So Stadia did that. That's exactly what Stadia said it could do. It did it, right? Google came on the stage, said we're going to have all the big games. So in the beginning, they had all the big games. I was loving it, right? My friends was laughing at me. Oh, you play that cloud thing? I said, but I'm playing the same game as you. So I was cool, right? Because I was a Destiny fan and had Destiny. Doom, I'm a Doom fan. Doom came out, blah, 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 right? We go on and on and on. So for me, my friends thought I was a fanboy because I was loving it. And whenever they said something about it, I didn't have an issue. So then I remember on panels, right? So it was like I take Cloud Gaming Extreme, the old one, right, with Ace. When they would I would be a guest, and they was like, "Oh, you love Stadia, this and that." I said, "Listen, the issue is your issue isn't my issue, right?" And I said, "I got a big mouth, bro. Trust me. When Stadia start doing stuff I don't like, you'll hear me." But for me, I got called a fanboy because I really had no issues. I said, one, like ISO is in the chat. ISO called himself the casual gamer. I said, I'm the basic gamer. I'm under ISO. I play one game, Marvel Avengers. At the current time, I'm good. So I was playing Marvel Avengers and whatever else came to pro. I felt good because I learned with Destiny, I could play one game and be good, right? So I was good with my Marvel Avengers. I played other stuff on the side, but Marvel Avengers was my primary game. It was getting close to WWE because they took a year off because of COVID. A new one was coming out. Everybody knew it. Oh, Cowboy love wrestling. What are you going to do if Stadia don't get it? I was like, I ain't going to lie to you. Listen, then we going to have a problem. So and all this is Stadia haters. They was praying on my downfall. Yo, it's the game coming out in 2 weeks. We ain't hearing nothing from Stadia. I'm like, listen, bro, they just wanted to see if I was a fanboy. They wanted to see if I was going to be like, oh, it came out and I don't care, right? So guess what? I took the day off of work because I liked the game that much. Went to my brother's house who got it. We played all day. My brother, me, my son. This is how much we like the game. My brother he bought 3 that same day PlayStation 5 controllers. Now, we all know they're $75 a piece. He spent that much money so we all could play. That's just showing how much we love the game. So he's like, bro, you're not going to get it? I was like, it's not on Stadia. So I was upset. I made my little cry, my little rant, but the haters wanted to see me, the Stadia, well, at the time they didn't call me Stadia Cowboy, but me, the cowboy that loves Stadia, always support Stadia, they wanted to see me flip out on Stadia. So part of it was like, well, I don't want to look like the a-hole and flip out because it is one game. One game that I love and bought every single copy besides one, right? So, but I was annoyed. So people see me annoyed, right? So I feel like my thing is an evolution. But people could say, well, bro, you never had a problem, so you're a fanboy. But again, I always said, I didn't have any specific problem with Stadia at the time. When everybody was mad at SG&E, I said it didn't bother me because guess what? You can't miss what you never had. I never seen a Stadia cloud native game. So I can't be like, oh, that game look amazing. Now I can't get it, right? Didn't bother me. So it is interesting because fanboy can mean different things to different people. There isn't one definition across the board because what you call a fanboy, I might not. So I just want to throw that out there to be fair for anybody who has their own definition, you know?
So do you, to ask you another question, did you
Yeah.
consider yourself a Stadia stand or a Stadia fanboy?
No, so here's the thing. Before there was a such thing of a Stadia, I was a PlayStation fan. I used to always say, bro, I can't stand fanboys. I used to say to Doc Dark called himself a bot. I said, bro, don't call yourself a bot. He was like, why not? I'm a bot. I said, no, a bot means a fanboy. He's like, but what's the difference? Like, no, because I just don't like fanboys. I've always been like that since Genesis and since arguing over what is Genesis better than Super Nintendo. Like, we did that back in the day, but I don't want to be labeled as a fanboy because to me, a fanboy just ride for anything. I don't like that. Like, if you can't call something out, it's like, I'm a father, right? I got a daughter who's 25 years old, so I've been raising kids for 25 years, right? I don't want my kids to just be like, oh, that's my friend. Like my daughter, good story, right? My daughter's first day of school, right? High school. She came home. She said, oh, I met a friend. I said, that's not your friend. She said, what? I said, you can't meet somebody in one day and call them your friend. That's an acquaintance. Like, you don't know what that person's capable of, not capable of. They might not be able to hold up to that high position or title you're giving them as a friend. So I do not admire the title and what's behind a fanboy. I would never call myself a fanboy. Now, I get people could have reasons why they will call me a fanboy, and that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you if you call me a fanboy. I'm going to tell you why I don't call myself a fanboy, but you could still be like, well, doesn't matter. I'm still call you a fanboy. I called a couple people a fanboy. I called Claudia V a fanboy, called Purple Haze a fangirl, and they're going to disagree, and they're going to have great reasons why they're not a fanboy. And I have to say, okay, cool, that's what you say, but I'm still going to call you fanboy. So I just wanted to explain. I never looked at myself as a Stadia stan. People did because they felt I was riding so hard for it, and I didn't have faults, but I always said, bro, I got a big mouth. Trust me, my family know. The day I have a problem, listen, I can love my mom. Me and my mom isn't that close. You know why? Because the day I had a problem, guess what? That's still my issue. You know? So that's just me, though. Yeah, I'm just trying to always be real as I can.
And I get it because, like, even with me and you, we have our exchanges back and forth. And
I love it, bro. I just want to, real quick, Sean, I just want to say this from the bottom of my heart. Bro, call me out on anything. Everybody's has the right to say whatever, and I appreciate you because, number one, it adds to better content, right? Us going back and forth. I may learn something, you may learn something, so this is for the whole chat. If you guys ever have anything you want to say to me, I'm just open, right? It could be derogatory. You can call me an a-hole, loser, a sucker. It is what it is. I like people who don't like me. Because you guys didn't do nothing to me. I get it. My personality sometimes is hard to deal with. Listen, ask my wife. So I just want to say this to you, Sean, personally, and anybody else. I never have a problem when people don't like me or have an issue with anything I said. It's freedom of speech. It's for you to actually call it out. So just wanted to say that before you even finish, just to let you know, man.
Well, Cowboy, I was petrified to actually come on your stream the first time round. I was like, oh no. Here's the Stadia Cowboy. He's going to tear me to parts like the old cowboy, the bad cowboy. And I was like, he's so eccentric in his personality. I don't think I'm going to get one word in edge. And I was fearing it the first time. And it went so well that my perception of you changed in that moment. But I remember when you invited me onto the show, I was like, should I join? Should I talk about Stadia? Should I talk about the opposition? I remember it was
I mean, I get it, and I want to be honest. I do love the theatrics, guys. I know most people who do these streams, they're just have a regular tone voice. Man, I'm on here doing spin kicks, wearing a cowboy hat, sometimes wearing a robe. I do love the theatrics. I love to doll it up. I love to, make my voice a little but like a lot of that is some show now. I'm saying everything I believe, but I'm just amping it up a bit, so for the theatrics, to be honest with you guys. My wife just said extraness. Hey, be quiet, girl.
Yeah, so keep it a buck. The main reason why you catch as much flack as you do is mainly, especially with the change from just being like Stadia only to now having your PlayStation and everything,
Right.
is due to all of the content creators before you who, when they went from, let's just say, a channel or something being primarily
Right.
Stadia or whatever, to, oh snap, all right, GFN is the new hot thing.
Right.
And so it's okay, well, Stadia sucks now because I'm talking about GFN. Well, then, okay, go ahead and talk about GFN and talk about the greatness of it, or talk about Luna and the greatness of it. It doesn't always have to be a dump on the previous thing because it didn't meet necessarily your satisfaction.
Right.
I can like peanut M&Ms. You can like Skittles. I can talk about why I like peanut M&Ms without always talking about Skittles, even though they both are in the same candy family. And I think that's what a lot of it was. When the other content creators left, they left, set the whole thing on fire, went hard on everybody,
Right.
and continue to go hard and to poke about it. If you're done with said thing, then it's okay to be done with said thing. You don't have to always want to turn around. And at that point, it starts to go from you being a content creator or so-called media to just
Right.
spiteful and hateful. Where it's sometimes like, yo, show me on the doll where Stadia touched you.
Yeah. So I do agree with you. I think the difference between me and I think sometimes I just call it for what it is. Like you said, keep it a buck. I think there's some fanboys who want me to be the devil, right? And I think the difference between me and other people, like for instance, Maker of Chaos in the chat, I keep it real. We got people talking about Stadia is going to die. Now, listen, maybe some people really believe it. I always say with Duncan, I said, listen, I checked Duncan. I had him on the show. And I said, bro, I don't want to hear no BS. You think Stadia is going to die? You need to give me a date. He said a year. I said, okay, well, that year was March 22nd, no, March 23rd, 2022. Obviously, that came and gone, so he was wrong, right, with his prediction. But I think the thing is, people they got, like you said, took a dump on it. They got derogatory. They was like, Stadia sucks. They was like, this state, I never said Stadia sucks. I never said all of a sudden now Stadia don't play well. All I simply said was I want certain games, and I feel the percentage that Stadia will get the game is very low. I knew Stadia wouldn't get every game, but they did come out the gate hot, and they had everything I wanted, right? But after the Business Insider, I was like, yo, if this is real, and again, I'm going to make a video one day, because everybody who, like Cloudy B say, now you changed up because you got a PlayStation 5. I'm like, bro, I only had a PlayStation 5 for like 2 months. WWE came out back in February, right, when I had my first issue with Stadia because they didn't get a game I want. The Business Insider came out how many months ago? Before I had a PlayStation 5. So when the Business Insider came out, again, in my video, I was the first person. I went on my lunch break and I did a live stream. I said, yo, if Stadia secretly isn't not getting, right? Because it's new. But if Stadia secretly aren't going after, that's a different story, right? I know you're not going to get everything. But if you just said, listen, we're no longer spending money on AAAs, then yeah, I got a problem. And then I'm out. I said it live, right? People forget I even said that. Like, I never said that.
I feel like that when I was mentioning my games, people were like, Holtz, it doesn't matter about your games, there's other games.
Yeah,
and then it became a thing where I was like, Holtz is shaking his rattle, which I've said myself, not getting my game. And then I was like, well, wait until it's your game. And then after a few months, it became your game. And it feels like we've all just became that way, where we're like, okay, well, if it hasn't got our game, we just move to a different approach in gaming.
Well, you know what? To blame me too, I am territorial, right? I am the type of gamer that I would prefer to play everything in one ecosystem. So that is my fault for being like, oh, I'm in the Stadia? Forget PlayStation, Like, because I felt like Stadia gave me everything I want. And to be honest with you, I don't want to buy multiple things. I don't want to have to buy 2 versions of a game. I don't want to have to. So I felt like I want Stadia to be everything. And Stadia was for well over a year, right? It was doing everything. But Holtz had a good point. When people didn't get NBA 2K, I was like, oh, well, it ain't my game. So when people was mad and was like, yo, wait till it's your game, I used to be like, but guess what? My WWE was coming. They didn't have a date for it, but I knew one day it would come out. I just thought Stadia would get it because they had the other WWE game made by the same company. So I didn't think Stadia wouldn't get any games that I like. I just thought I was safe because I'm a picky gamer and I don't play that many games. So I was like, the probability of them not getting a game I like, they probably get it, but I was wrong.
Was that the Battlegrounds game? The WWE Battlegrounds?
Yeah, they got WWE Battlegrounds. I bought it day one, and I enjoyed it. I had fun. I mean, it was, not that great of a game, but I played it as much as I could.
So we found that concept where we believed that just because developers came in that set of games, you always believed that from now on they've got a perfect partnership and they were the
it was Yeah, Sean, I was like, yo, they already made one WWE game. It would be dumb if the other one didn't come. That's what I really thought, and it say it was new. So as far as partnerships, that's a great point, Holtz. I just thought, why would it not come, right? The other one came. That wouldn't make sense for it not to come, but I was wrong. So FCAT, what's going on? My man FCAT can't get in with us. He said, here's something deep, he said, right? I don't know if you guys agree with this. He said, when you prove something is better on another platform, they deflect, change the subject, and dodge the question. I mean, I don't want to say better unless something is proven to be better, because Sean had a good point. Let's say I love Elden Ring, but he don't. Then Elden Ring isn't better for him, But there is
the argument that they
Mhm.
make, though. Like when you talk about the other people.
Well, so I was going to say this, though, Sean, to be fair, as a gamer, there is a distinction between AAA and indie. That is a distinction. So I can't say one is better than the other, but I can say one I mean, it's all preference, but I can't say they might have spent more money on graphics, story, or really. I mean, again, it's all subjective, but it is still a distinction between AAA and indie.
I say it all the time that I know there's AAA games, high esteemed games on the Nintendo Switch, but a lot of people don't look at it because they see the 720, 1080, they see the resolution side and go, no, it can't be highly esteemed if it's low fidelity. And I'm like, come on, look at the portability and the factor and the experience to play them games. It is a AAA game, so there's a lot of wishy-washy in the gaming community. Yeah. What we believe is I can sit there and go, oh my god, a AAA game is amazing because it's got a single player experience, and Cowboy can go, no, it's got to be a multiplayer attitude. Yeah. And that's where we all
That's true. Well, guys, I think we beat up the fanboy thing. Anything else you guys want to add on the fanboy? Anybody else in the chat want to add anything else left on the fanboy subject? I think we all gave some good points, and
real quick and talk about, I guess, indie and AAA and the misconception at times. A lot of people have this misconception that just because something is AAA means it's going to be an absolute hit and banger.
Right.
Like, look at all of the hype and everything that was behind Battlefield. That's like the big one.
Bro, that's what came to mind. That's what came to my mind.
And they spent all that money and everything else, and it fell well below goal. A lot of the people that ventured towards it moved off. But people assume that just because. But look at something that's indie, like what was it, Among Us? How something so simple, so basic looking, can blow up. So it all just depends on what picks up in the gaming community and just takes off. It doesn't mean just because you spend millions and millions and millions of dollars that it's going to be a smash hit. Yes, you can have a big company behind you, this big name and this big brand, but the name and the brand can only carry you so far. It comes down to the gameplay.
Well, I'm still stubborn today with the fidelity of Roblox, Fortnite, Minecraft, and I'm like, no, they're not AAA. But we all know the mass sales proves that that studio and that game is AAA.
Well, I just want to say that it just depends on what takes off, right? But I will play devil's advocate, Sean. It does suck, all right? If you said, like the old me, right? Oh, I just want to be in one ecosystem. And then that AAA game comes out and it's not in your ecosystem. So that does suck. So we can say there are some games like, I made a video a while ago. I said, here are the games that was supposed to kill Stadia. Right, and so I talked about a Battlefield. I talked about what was the cat game with the swords and all that that was supposed to be.
Biomutant.
Oh, Stadia ain't gonna have that. What was it?
Biomutant.
Yeah, Biomutant, right? And then it didn't do so good. So, but when there is a hit game, like let's say an Elden Ring, because think about it, they got a From Software game. They got Sekiro. I heard I've been saying it wrong. How am I supposed to say it, host?
You said it right, Sekiro.
Oh, Sekiro. Okay, so they got Sekiro, which was the game of the year that year it came out, right? But guess what? They didn't get and sun is in my eye. Let me turn myself. They didn't get Elden Ring, and we could all agree maybe Elden Ring might be not your game, my game, but it ended up being a hit.
And then there was loads of hit titles like Valheim and stuff like that, where they were like sort of sneaker hits on other platforms like GFN and PC that we never seen. It was like if they worked to get them, it would have helped. Well, a lot of people said it would have helped Stadia.
Right.
Say.
Let me get over here. Maker Chaos just joined us. Maker, can we hear you?
Yeah.
All right, Melon didn't screw you up. Did you? Oh, okay. There you go, camera. Holtz, Sandy want to say hi to you. All right, I gotta get over to her.
Tanning. Hi, Sandy. Tanning up.
How you been?
I wish that was me in the pool tanning myself up as well. You look like so relaxed.
It is relaxed. I've been in the pool all day.
Hey, host, I'm mad at her. Her job, she worked from home, and she'll be floating in the pool.
Well, she's the brains and the beauty cowboy. I don't know what you bring to it. The enthusiasm, I guess.
So, Sean, I think you're in here twice.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
let me
kicking me and then re-adding me and kicking me and re-adding me, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay, let me figure out which Sean is the real. Okay, there you go. Is that you?
Yeah.
All right, we got the real Sean. But the real Sean, please stand up. Maker, what's up? Maker, jump in on this conversation. Let's hear it from you. Stadia hater.
You guys mentioned AAA. While not every AAA game is going to do great, they still generally have wide appeal and wide approach. I mean, that's why big companies funding them and publishing it. And just for example, you guys mentioned Battlefield 2042. Did you know for the NPD report for the US, Battlefield for 12 months year to date, so 12 months from like now, they are ranked number 6 in like the top selling US games. Battlefield 2042 is. It's higher than FIFA 22 and higher than Far Cry 6, which I believe Far Cry 6 came out within those 12 months. So Battlefield 2042 basically did better than Far Cry 6 in the US.
Yeah, but hey, Maker, that still don't make it a good game. You might got it and don't even play it because it's...
Yeah, but come on, you got US.
I'm talking about sales. I'm talking about sales.
US. I mean, we're a cloud podcast and stuff like that. Worldwide, come on. Did that beat the likes of FIFA?
It probably won't. Because FIFA's has wide appeal across.
Yeah, so you can't keep on saying, like, for example, in a podcast where we're all from around the world, and you go, United States sales, because it sort of limits us to just believing in stateside perspective.
I'm just showing, despite Battlefield 2042 considered a...
No, that's cool. That's a good point.
Still sells a lot. Like
right.
But
what I was saying is, I didn't say that it completely bombed. What I stated was it didn't hit the projected sales or necessarily maintain the projected database. That's where it first was coming out, it was $60. Now I can go on Steam and buy that boy for $15.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that don't hit their sales market. I mean, that's true for a lot of indies too. You know, there's a lot of indies that get overshadowed and then don't do well, and that's unfortunate. But that's just the thing with games. You know, you never know what the market is, what people are wanting, and that's the big thing is you want to grab games that people want and people will buy.
Well, my perspective is that when I see sales numbers, that's all that matters to me. I don't care if 1 million bought it at full retail, another million bought it at half price, and another million bought it on sale at 75%. Overall, in the year, I actually just look at the sales numbers to actually define, did it actually perform well?
Like if you want to take that into effect, what about the sales numbers for Valheim, which are better than even Resident Evil Village? Like, What about that? Like, do you I think a lot of people discredit some games, in terms of how big they are, and other people try to hype up other games that might not
Yeah.
be as big as
Well,
people think it is.
so Maker, there's two things, right? There's definitely the game that got buzz. That's the word I like to say, right? Everybody understand what buzz, I think, from UK to Tokyo, right? So we get when a game got buzz. Elden Ring this year had buzz, right? Like everybody and their mom who didn't even like Elden Ring. There's people who bought Elden Ring that was never played a From Software game, but it had that buzz, right? But then there's games that sold like crazy. Sometimes it's not the same thing, like Valheim, right? So it is what it is. But I think if we bring it back, right? Let's bring it back to the fanboy thing. There's fanboys who use these numbers to say, well, this platform isn't good because it doesn't have this, right? Or this platform is better because it has this. Because one of the things Lion said when he used the word better, right? So, or no, that was FCAT, sorry. So better, I mean, better for who? Because if I'm just a gamer and I buy Battlefield and I don't like it, then I waste my money. So then it wasn't better for me. But I think what Maker's point was, a platform looks good if it has these AAA games because it has the buzz. That's the thing.
And AAA generally do well in sales regardless, like in
Right.
millions of sales easy. Whereas like indies, for the most part, there's a lot of indies that don't sell above 100K.
But Maker, what's your stance on the fanboy? Like, I don't call you a fanboy because you like a lot of stuff. So, but some people might call you a fanboy. I don't know. But what's your stance on that?
People probably do. But I just game where I want to game. I played some Stray. I played Elden Ring on the Xbox, and I go everywhere when it comes to games. I have friends across all consoles, and if there's something I want to play, I'll play it. And that's a simple fact. Like I played and beat Roadbook on Stadia, so
I don't know, Maker. Somebody told me you burnt your Stadia. Somebody told me you set your Stadia on fire. No. Yo, my man, Rude Diggs. Maker, is that true? Did you set your Stadia on fire?
No, I did not.
Sandy said, how you gonna set your Stadia on fire? You mean your Chromecast?
I don't even have a Chromecast, to be honest.
Oh wow. So is there anything else you guys want to add to fanboys? Or we can move on?
I gotta go, but thank y'all for this. I'm gonna continue to listen.
Definitely. Hey, Sean, man, thank you as always, good or bad. I appreciate what you add is value, man. Whether you're on here calling me out for some nonsense or you agree with me, but it's always value. So I appreciate you.
All right, thank y'all.
And Sandy said bye.
Let's see.
All right, so guys, the link is down there. You guys could jump. Oh, damn, we said fanboys, and this guy TK9, the biggest fanboy I ever met in my life. My man eat Xboxes for breakfast because he think it's gonna make him stronger. I'm just playing. All right. So, anyways, so what I had on the docket, I wanted to go over my Stadia video and let you guys get a chance to roast me or call me out or whatever. And then I also wanted to talk about Maker. What else I had on the docket?
I don't know.
I can't see the thing. Huh? You can look at the look at
your subscription services is what.
Oh yeah, there we go. What do you guys want to jump on next? Maker, you just came in. I leave it to you.
Okay. Let's go with the Hate Stadia video.
God damn it! Could I have called it any perfect? No, actually, I thought you were gonna say subscriptions.
I almost did.
Yeah. Real quick, man. I just want to tell you guys, I still play Stadia more than my PlayStation. I still like Stadia for what it does. Nothing changed. It still plays the same everywhere. But the only thing that changed is the type of games, or let me just call it for what it is. I'm not gonna say quality of games. I'm gonna say AAA games. That's what changed. All right. And what bothered me was, or what I got afraid of, oh wait, let me use the word. You know the word I'm gonna use, Maker? I got concerned that they were really doing what the Business Insider said, and they was not gonna they stopped going after AAA games. That I've always been a AAA guy, and that I can't stick around if that's the case. Now, they came out on Twitter and said, oh, you know, if you hear anything, just know that we are bringing games and the proof is in the plan. And I know Purple Haze used that so much, y'all didn't even know that came from Stadia. So anyway, but over the time, I was like, damn, it almost seems like Business Insider is right. And Stadia didn't come out and say that wasn't the case, right? So for me, I said, okay, let me just get a contingency plan, buy a PlayStation 5. And a lot of people say, why'd you get PlayStation 5? You had PlayStation 4. Well, I got one because I haven't bought a game on anything but Stadia for well over a year. So I told myself, if I'm going to buy a new game, then you know what? I'm just going to get a PlayStation 5. And then I'll just be able to have the new hardware. For me, it wasn't that big of a deal where some people might be like, oh, that's $500. Not saying I'm rich, but it just, the $500 didn't bother me. Actually, it was $800. But the $800 didn't bother me because I felt I was going to now have a contingency backup plan. So if a game like WWE came out and Stadia didn't get it, I'd be like, oh, I'll just go buy it on that. So anyway, the reason why I made the video was there's a lot of talk lately, right? About me being the enemy and the devil and the bad guy. And I was like, you know what? I just want to sum up my feelings into one video. And over a couple videos, I kind of, you know, lashed out or whatever you guys want to call it, right? So I figured, you know what? I'm going to take some time. By the way, I was up to 4:11 in the morning, guys, making that video. Spent a lot of time on it because I wanted to capture everything I had to say that bothered me, not only about Stadia, being fair, but also about the Stadia community. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to take this one video. I made it 20 minutes long. It was 38 minutes. I got it down to 20 minutes. And I said, let me just lash out, say what I got to say about the platform and the community, fanboys, the fans, whatever. So that's what I did. So many people, but I told myself I'm going to stealth drop it. I'm not even going to tell anybody. I mentioned in my Discord, man, I'm working on the video. People might hate me. So some people's like, oh, what video? I said, well, you'll see. So I stealth dropped it, didn't say nothing, didn't share it. And next thing you know, I was like, oh, it's getting some comments. Then I seen somebody shared it on Twitter, MJ Parks. Uh-oh. Then what was cool was Stefan, if you guys know him, he's a German Stadia player. Yo, I was going on Twitter. I seen he shared it in German. I was like, I don't even know what they saying. They talk all in German. So I did the Google Translate, and he was like, listen, I've been saying that for a while with Stadia, and people get on me that they're just not bringing the games I want. And I agree with this video. And I was like, yeah. So not anything against the Stadia fan base, but for the fanboys, oh, well, y'all could go cry in a barrel. But, I don't know, barrel sound good. It was on top of my, you know, at the time, I just thought of it. Hey, Maker, can I say barrel? Is that okay?
Say what?
Can I say they could go cry in a barrel? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Maker said I can say whatever I want.
Well, the whole point is,
Go
ahead, host.
When you said like you're the devil, straight away in my mind, have you seen The Water Boy when the mama goes, "Stay away from him, he's the devil," and I was straight away I thought, you know what, that should be a cowboy meme. Stay away from him,
funny.
He's the Stadia devil.
He said the PS5 is a myth. They don't exist. Oh man. No, they actually do, man. If you just find out the date of the month that they're having they do PlayStation 5 events once a month. That's all you gotta do. Call your GameStop. You keep calling, or you get the GameStop Plus, whatever they call it, and then they'll email you and say, hey, the event is this weekend. Just get there the day it open or the time they open. You'll walk in. They usually get about 8 a store. You just walk in and grab one. It's really not that hard. I did it myself.
I recommend following Wario64 on Twitter. That's how I got my Series X and PS5.
Yeah.
If you track him, he does a lot of sales, and whenever stuff goes live for like PS5 drops.
Yeah, it's not that hard now. But guys, we got Rude Diggs joining us. What's up, man?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Listen, I'm mad at you.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because I was watching your stream earlier. You guys are screaming, and I'm writing in the chat, "What's up, guys?" And y'all never looked to even see I was there.
That's purely my streaming setup. I'm still an amateur.
Okay, got you.
So You know how Stadia just kind of locks out everything else when you play it,
Right.
And OBS is supposed to have like a mini stream. It's supposed to tell me if somebody's talking in the chat. I guess it wasn't doing that.
Yeah, I was like, "What's up, guys? That's my guy!" Yay! And I'm like, "Yo, is he ignoring me? Like, that's messed up. Just because I whooped him in Fast and Furious, like, that's what we on now?"
No, I took that. You know, I gotta get better. I gotta level up my cars. I gotta get those turns
Yeah, man.
right. Get
Well,
those
you don't have to.
right.
The cool thing is that game, you don't have to level up cars. You just gotta unlock different cars to find the one you like.
Yeah, and I got to get the right skin, right? It's all about the skins.
Yeah, right. Actually, I haven't used any skins yet, but they're out there. Aminar said PS5. So this is just one of those. Aminar's here to troll. They said PS5 blows Stadia out of the water. TK9 said, bruh, everywhere. He's trying to say the PS5 is definitely not everywhere, but if you wait for that one day, you can find it. Chariot Man Game is in the building. Chris Game over Cake is in the building, and he doesn't want one. All right, so back to the video. So by now, Rude Diggs, did you hear about my alleged video that I posted?
I heard it early on in the chat here, but I haven't been able to check it out yet.
Okay, well, it's 20 minutes long. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But I did take 20 minutes to sum up my grievances, right, with the community and with Stadia. Now, I really only have one grievance with Stadia, is just that they are falling off on the amount of AAA games they got when I first got into Stadia. So that's just me. But I've made the analogy that if me and Stadia was two friends and we met each other and we liked shirts and we're like, bro, we're going to Hot Topic this weekend to get the same shirts. You know it. This weekend, I'm going to meet you at the mall. Then a year later, Stadia's like, yeah, I'm going to be there. Now Stadia starts showing up late, but I'm still there on time. But we still cool. And then next thing you know, a year later, it's 2 years now. And Stadia's like, I just don't like going to Hot Topic no more to get the shirts. I'm like, bro, so guess what? In this analogy, I didn't change. Stadia changed. Stadia didn't keep the same energy. So when people get mad at me that I'm bad, yo, this is what I was used to.
Same energy. You still got like the likes of, like, for me, when you say the same energy, you still got the games that I care about, the Ubisoft and
good for you.
EA, FIFA.
That's a good thing.
They can be my friends.
It's a good thing you don't play wrestling games. So good for you.
I did, but I grew up.
Hey, Rude Diggs, you gonna let him talk to me like that?
No, I hear what you're saying. Stadia came out with big titles all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't hitting it hard in the sports from the beginning, though. I mean,
Right.
that was recognizable. But I mean, they realized fast that only like a small amount of people were buying their shirts, and they realized they could sell a lot more kid sizes than adult sizes, because all the adult sizes were taken up by PS5 and Xbox and PC, and the amount of money to get them to change shirts was too much for Google to spend. So I think they made a business move, and they went for kid sizes to hopefully get them to wear adult cloud shirts
one day.
Grow up.
To continue with this analogy, the problem I have with Stadia is, they focused a little bit more on kids attire. Let's say that. And but the problem is they didn't get the best brands of kids attire. Like they're still missing those big brands.
Well,
like just to mention a few: Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox. Those are massive kids titles, and they don't have them.
Right.
Well, I would like.
Go hold.
I would like to say, just jokes aside, when we speak about this Liverpool football kits and stuff like that, is that I've bought football kits for years and years and years for my niece and nephews, and the price bracket only changes after like 8+. Well, after 8+, you're not in kids or junior anymore. You're sort of in like sort of lower teens, adult bracket. So if we use that same concept for gaming, then we have to realise that Stadia should be focusing more on 8+ gamers, and I feel like they are actually hitting that market.
Well, the thing, to be fair, Holtz, this is going to be bad for Stadia, but to be fair, I hear you. But I think some people are mad at Stadia, right, when they say, hey, they don't come out and say anything. Now, I do feel it's career suicide to come out and say publicly we shift focus and we're going to get less adult shirts, right? because you wouldn't do that. But it does suck for the people who are like me. I had a lot of listen, I didn't even one of my favorite games ever is WWE, and I didn't buy it because I was like, maybe Stadia might get it, and I waited, right? So I think it sucks for somebody who really do like the platform and say, I'm gonna wait. But behind the scenes, Stadia is like, hey, listen, we just really not going after those games. So I think that does kind of suck, but it's all business.
I've mentioned before, for example, like the platformer. Even back in the days of the PlayStation 1, I was 10 by the time I was playing Mario 64 and Crash Bandicoot, for example. And I feel they're the staple that define that generation of consoles. So I feel like, why not aim for them younger gamers who will mature with the service than just us miserable old guys that need a certain specific game to define our characteristics as gamers, for example?
I mean, listen, I get it. I'm just saying that you don't see no kids on here talking with us. It's adults that's having these issues with Stadia. So it's cool to say all what you're saying, but it's like, I don't know any kids who actually care or know what Stadia is. So I think that's the funny thing, Holtz. I hear you, and you might be doing family sharing, and some of your nieces and nephews are playing, but where are the kids? Real quick. Okay.
I can name 5. I've been saying for like 2 years. My nephew's been playing FIFA 2021, 2022 on his iPad, on Stadia, for example. And of course, he will not be Stadia specific. He could sort of evolve to other cloud services if the game brought him to it. But at the moment, why I'm actually sort of family managing.
Yeah. Then Holtz, where's the commercials that said, hey, we are great for kids. We have so many kids games or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
of course, yeah. Stadia's never been great for marketing. They're crap. You know what I mean?
But Stadia. So here's my thing, though, Holtz. To be fair, like I always say, like why we keep holding them to SG&E closing, which is fair, right? So I shouldn't still hold them to the great days when they got, all the good titles. Like for instance, right? I said this from day one when Eddie said, "Listen, I'm out of Stadia." Because the SG&E closed it. So you got to give him a pass because he specifically liked Stadia and he was waiting around for the cloud native games. Once the Stadia didn't have it anymore, it was okay to give him a pass. So if I say I was into the AAA games that they had since day one and now they're out of it, why I can't get a pass? So if I'm like, hey, they not getting these AAA games, it bothers me. I'm going to get a PlayStation 5. Why am I the devil? You know? Now, yes, I was a big supporter. Yes, I did so much, and I'm still here. I'm still, tweeting people. I don't tweet people out as much as I used to because it kind of got tiring. I told people straight up, hey, if you're streaming, send me your link. But people don't do that. They just want me to go find it, which I still do sometimes. But I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to lay back because most times I tweet people out is at work. So I'm doing all this stuff when I'm working. If people don't care enough to send me their link, then I had to cut back a little bit. But I'm still like in the community. I still play games. I still watch people's streams. But I'm the devil because I had got a PlayStation 5, even though months before that, I said, listen, bro, if you're not getting AAA games, I have a problem. So for me, I feel like the writing's on the wall that, I was getting frustrated with the lack of AAA games.
Well, do you know one thing I actually find really funny with Stadia is that, like, for the last 2 years, I've always been saying that I actually get my news from, like, the YouTube channel. Stadia. So that's where I get my announcements. That's where I care. And then I go for personalities on YouTube. I can't believe they just got the biggest official announcements of Stadia, FIFA 2023 on Stadia with XPlay, and still to this day, it's not actually uploaded on the Stadia channel. And
that's crazy.
I'm like, you're working backwards here for what I was saying the last 2 years. You need to keep on having that momentum to sort of, project to gamers like me that only use YouTube as a news outlet.
I did want to mention something like what Cowboy was saying earlier about like what we thought was coming compared to what's coming now.
Right.
When they first showcased like Stadia, they said we have all these games coming from these partners, and it showed 2K, it showed EA, it showed like Ubisoft, these big AAA publishers. Now fast forward to now, 2K is they don't even provide any new games. The Red Dead Online as a standalone package isn't on Stadia. NBA 2K, the newest one, did not come to Stadia. The Tiny Tina's Wonderland not come to Stadia. WWE 2K not come to Stadia. So 2K it seems like they're out. We haven't seen anything. And EA last year we had Jedi Fallen Order, we had Madden, we had FIFA. Now we know FIFA. Oh, not FIFA. Madden's not coming, and the new trailer for the new Star Wars game doesn't have Stadia on there, and it's not confirmed for Stadia. So the problem is, it's not that it is that they've shifted away, and these games that we were getting we're no longer seeing come to the platform, and that is a concern. I think that should be a concern for people. FIFA 23 is great.
Well, Maker, what do you mean when you say concern? Because for me, right, I think to be fair, right, again, this is just my perception. I don't think Stadia is going anywhere. I think the only concern should be if the game you want don't come. And that's why I spelled out on my video. I added the part where I said it's a game called Project Magnum. I think that looks cool. I actually got a new name, right? And I said, if that game was coming out, what's the percent of that game you think will come to Stadia? I'm giving Stadia, well, I was saying 5%. Now they're getting Saints Row. I'll up it to 10%. 10% is very, very, very poor as a percentage. So I just feel like, to be fair, if somebody don't care about, let's say me, like WWE, if you don't care, it really shouldn't be a concern of yours, but you should have a concern that your game might not come. So if you're really going to say, I like this platform as the ecosystem I want to be into, just know that a game might come out and the possibility of it coming to Stadia will be very low. I just want to just put that out there.
To counter that, I actually wanted to say, it doesn't look good when a platform's only 3 years old and they're already losing support from some of these big major publishers. And these are massive companies that have wide appeal, like 2K's. They have GT, which is one of the most sold games of all time.
I get it. Listen, I just feel like I can't attribute that.
It's not like it's an established platform that's 10, 20 years old. It's a platform that's 3 years old that's losing support.
So unfortunately,
that's concerning to me.
Yeah, we're left to speculate, but a business move Google could have said is right now is the most expensive time to put stuff onto Stadia.
Right.
If you wait and Cowboys talked about this, about the load change porting, perhaps they're saying, hey, wait till we get this up and running. Then we'll bring you guys back in. We made the initial relationships. This is a long-term plan we have, and they'll come in later. So, fortunately, we have no real knowledge of that, but that could be a play that they're making. I would not think that the relationships are severed 100%. Nobody would do that in any industry.
But it should be concerning. It's like if Madden just suddenly stopped coming to Xbox. It's not a good thing.
No, but Maker, I just want you to define concerning, though. I want to get a gauge for me, right? Let's say for me, you know me for a while, you know I like Marvel Avengers, people laughed at me, said it's kids' game. So for me, what would be concerning that 2K isn't, I just want to define concern. If concerning means that Stadia is not going to be around in 2 years, okay, cool. If concerning means that, hey, your game might not come, then, just spell it out, because concern is very broad, right? So I'm just trying to understand what's concerning.
I mean, to me, it's concerning as a platform as a whole because they're not keeping these deals that they had prior. Usually a company will renew those deals. Like for Madden, a yearly title, I would assume a company would want to. Even Xbox, their first initial year, they had Madden coming year after year on Xbox, despite being a new platform. So, and because it is a major franchise. And I think that in itself is a bit concerning. I mean, I think that should at least be looked at with a wary eye that, hey, that's kind of iffy, But I also think those who play those platforms, for them to be there prior and then no longer come.
What's up, man?
People who love those titles, it's going to suck for them, and you're going to lose people because of that.
Well, I knew it was going to be a dry spot. I knew it was going to be a dry spot between March and July, because I knew all my consoles and services that I play was actually going to run dry, and I was leading more to a Switch approach.
I look better than that too,
because they had the announcements of games, should I say, and on past streams that I've been with the Cowboy.
She didn't start living with us until after the graduated.
I'm about to get out the pool real quick, guys.
I actually have to hop out. I'll catch you guys later.
Take care. Good talking to you.
So I was just saying I'm getting out the pool.
As I was saying, is I never had no hate towards Stadia because between March and July there was very a dry spot in a lot of services and consoles, should I say, with their release window. And I always said in the past streams with the Cowboy that I actually said that wait until July to see what gets announced. And straight away in this announcement, we got the likes of like FIFA announced. And I thought that was amazing for the cloud. Just like in PlayStation 5, we actually got God of War and like Bayonetta 3 we got for the Nintendo Switch. And all these games could have been delayed.
I'll tell you what, Cowboy.
Okay, guys. I'm listening.
All these games could have been delayed till later next year, and if they did, I would sort of put hate. But for some strange reason, July was the month where everything came into fruition for consoles and cloud. So I feel like once again, Stadia is in that frame of mind, and so is a lot of cloud service like GFN for the possibility to get more games for the fall titles. So I feel like okay, we've all got dry spots, but then we'll all be forecasting money and investing money, should I say, in the fall titles that we're all interested in seeing.
So I kind of agree with Maker with the whole Madden versus FIFA thing because, I mean, Madden broke out sports games, like, period, and it should have been on Stadia, and it's bigger than FIFA, and it's I mean, I know FIFA is big worldwide or anything.
No, you can't say Madden's bigger than FIFA. Even if you look at the big, huge demographic of America, even look at the big.
Madden came out before FIFA.
Yeah, but it goes back to the point that the demographic of America doesn't represent, even if everyone bought Madden, doesn't represent the world, does it, for the sport of football, soccer?
Well, in America, the charts go football number 1, then basketball number 2, then baseball, then soccer.
Yeah, but in other countries, it's football number 1, nothing else number 2.
Yeah, I would say baseball is higher worldwide than the likes of American soccer, should I say? American football, should I say?
Yeah, true that.
I mean, I lived in Portugal for a little while, and soccer was their religion. They lived, breathed, and ate soccer. It was everywhere.
The thing with Madden is that Madden got control of the NFL franchise. Like, it got the license, it got the name. It's the only, like, video game that's doing football right now.
Yeah, okay. So I'm used to word soccer, for example, but for the Americans,
but when you got soccer, you got PES game, the PES game.
We have to look that there's a World Cup. There's a World Cup tournament happening in December, and that is going to bring marketing to the likes of the FIFA franchise. So in the end, the more eyes, the merrier. And you can sit there and say Madden, but what is Madden actually comparing worldwide in a marketing term to actually want you to sort of grab that? So I understand that the team behind Google Stadia Immersive Stream would sit there and say, well, it's better this year just to fully invest into FIFA 23 just in case the World Cup to see if the fan base or the community is there to bring the possibility of FIFA 24, should I say.
So I would actually have faith that maybe EA is looking at this new FIFA and being like, okay, let's see how many people buy it, let's see how many people play it, then we'll release Madden on Stadia.
I think that's a good play, especially when porting their games will be X divided by 4 with low port changing versus right now when FIFA is going to cost a bunch of money and to get Madden is a bunch of money times 2. It just doesn't make sense when so many people just bought Madden elsewhere because they didn't even know what Stadia was.
Right, so even though we know for certain it's not coming, it might still come.
Yeah, let me check my latest source. And if I see anything, no word on Madden yet.
How long is American football season? When does the season start, and how long does it last for?
You got 16 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Because
playoffs?
Because I know last year when FIFA 22 came out, a lot of people were sitting there saying Stadia, you got it too late in March. But by the time March came, there was the Champions League, there was still the end of the Premier League, there was Norway League, South American leagues, the Carabao Cups. There was still a lot of things that defined 22 soccer things. So in the end, we were only just sulking because it was near close to the end of what we define as the UK Premier League. But worldwide statistics showed that this game still carried on till October 2022 before the next game sort of refreshed.
Right. But I mean, in Madden's old days, I mean, there was other football games out there. There was NFL Blitz, there was this, there was that. You know, Madden came out on top at the end and took the title, took the name, the licenses, everything.
I'm back, boys.
Hey.
But another thing I wanted to say, Cowboy. So I have a date.
Okay.
August 24th is a Destiny 2 showcase where Bungie's gonna go and talk about Lightfall. And I'm just saying right now, if Bungie says, "Oh, we're sorry, we're dropping Stadia," I'm turning into Pontius Pilate. I am washing my hands and crucifying Stadia.
Hold on, wait. If you're saying not just Stadia, I want to get this correct. Meaning they're gonna only be a PlayStation exclusive?
No, I'm saying if they drop Stadia like they dropped 360 and PS3.
No, they would.
Oh, you're saying
Stadia's next gen.
No, wait. I get what he's saying. He's saying if they're only going to be next gen. That's what you're saying, correct?
In a way.
I mean, come on. How do you trying to? What do you explain this? You gotta like spell it out. You're like trying to teeter totter because I don't
know
get
people
why.
consider Stadia's next gen. Some people consider Stadia not next gen. You never know. I mean,
Well, Stadia is getting the next gen version of FIFA. They got it last year and this year, right?
So you think Stadia's got Bungie unlocked?
So here's my thing. I was a big Destiny fan. When Bungie decided to no longer be on PlayStation 3 or Destiny, PlayStation 3 was very long in the tooth. Like it was like, all right, who's still making games for this, right? Like, and AAA titles, right?
Right.
I feel like Stadia #1 is new, it's just getting out there. I feel that even PlayStation, it continued to manufacture PlayStation 4s. I don't know if you knew that or not. So they said they're going to manufacture them for another year. So PlayStation 4 has a lot of life left into it, right? But Xbox did say we're no longer manufacturing 360s or Xbox Ones, but there's still a lot in the wild. So I don't see. Go ahead.
They wanted to kill the PlayStation 4 off. I think they stopped manufacturing, but because the PlayStation 5 was so limited because of COVID restrictions, they actually brought the possibility to start manufacturing more, especially when you've got games like God of War, Horizon, Forbidden West, and that is sort of cross-platform.
Right. I see Lightfall and Final Shape coming to PS4, even though they stop making games for it by 2024 or whatever.
So Kat, let's just do a dollar thing, a revenue, right? If we want to get into money, there's more PlayStation 4s than PlayStation 5s. If you stop making games for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, you name it, right? They're going to be cutting themselves out of a lot of money. So that's why I don't think
games are kind of doing it right now. I mean, they're cutting out last gen.
Yeah, but these are like new, like look at what is it called? The Batman game, right? Arkham
Call
Knight.
of Duty.
So
Call of Duty's all next gen.
What the new Call of Duty?
Yep.
Nope.
Oh wait, no, it's last gen, but you still got to play 70. That's right.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, wait. Now the only game I know so far is going to be the Arkham Knights, but that's a new IP. They could do that, right?
Right.
Can I just admit, my fanboy colours shine with Sony because I am one of them gamers that believe that Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok shouldn't be a PlayStation 4 game. I feel like they're showcases and they'd be limited to the progression that we could actually see potential in the PlayStation 5.
But I think just to make sense of it, right? It just makes sense, like you said, right? It makes sense to make that game be on PlayStation 4 because they don't have enough PlayStation 5. So they wouldn't be able to generate as much income. But I'd be willing to say the next God of War would be a only PlayStation 5 title. But that's probably not like 4 years
But
ago.
I feel like it's easier to sort of produce a game and downsample it than it is putting all your effort into making the next generation.
I agree.
I think they'd be smart to push their PlayStation Cloud and have PlayStation Cloud available on PS4. That way you'd be able to play the PS5 games on your PS4 just through the cloud.
And we all know that developers have got more time with optimizing for the PlayStation 4, that when this God of War Ragnarok drops, I bet in money it's barely any difference apart from performance versus fidelity versus ray tracing mode. And we're going to look at these games going, oh my God, we could have played on our PlayStation 4. And I'm going to feel bitter.
Yeah.
So speaking about...
So I seen Cloudy B came in here, and while I was getting dressed and all that, I totally missed the stuff. But he said Madden is not on any cloud service except for Stadia. Doesn't that hold some water? Also, there's still possibility it could come later. So that definitely is that's a good shout, right? That's definitely a good shout.
Yeah,
He said Maker doesn't understand Google spent $10 million hypothetically, and there was no return. Nobody's going to continue to do that if it doesn't draw the players. What's the point to satisfy a few? So I agree. I've always said the best thing Stadia could do, not selfishly for me, but the best thing Stadia could do is expand, and they're expanding. Good point. He said Google has yet to let us down. We still have 50 games coming between now and the end of the year. Who knows what those will be? Yeah. So Google, as far what he's saying is Google hasn't let us down yet on getting the 100 games a year. Oh man, look, my guy, Mr. Paul, Byron Plays in the building, who beat me in wrestling yesterday. I'm man enough to say that, but he cheated. Let me see. Maker said,
I was watching that. I don't know if there was cheating happening.
Hey.
Do you know what? I was going to give him rounds of applause for you won. He won. But then he went cheated.
I had a bad day yesterday, man.
Of course, like you said, Cowboy at the end of the stream, I had a bad day in Mortal Kombat, but we all admit that.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't even bring that up. Let me see. I'm just getting to some of these chats for you guys. Sorry that I was getting dressed. Let me see. LOL, Madden nowhere near as big as FIFA. Pretty much what he was saying. Maker said FIFA is good, but it came last year as well. Madden came last year as well, and is one of the largest franchise. It's not coming.
Okay.
What is the motorcycle game? MotoGP wasn't coming, and it came 6 months late. So I just want to throw that out there. But go ahead.
I'm just going to say the first year of FIFA, we were all amazed. Second year of FIFA, we were in doubt. Still game. Third year, it just became better and better. Day and date, announcement with other consoles, pre-orders, and X-Play. And you think yourself, doesn't that mean something?
Let me ask you something, Hope. So they said this new FIFA's on Stadia is going to launch with crossplay, right?
Right.
What if it don't?
Oh, don't say
that. What happens?
You
can't announce that by EA standards and just drop it.
WWZ did it, and another game on Stadia did it.
Okay, right. So, right, if that's the case with an official EA press conference, then sorry, you have to go to the developers to give them crap. Sorry,
EA's big.
So speaking about
I think to be fair, right, is that any game nowadays, let's be fair, what game comes out in its final form nowadays? Everything comes out, need a day one patch, a new patch next week. Marvel Avengers get a damn. I don't know if there's a game that ever got more patches than this game. Like, so they could easily, just like with World War Z, down the road add in crossplay if it didn't come day one.
What do you mean? You can all see the Dragon Ball Z approach, where after so many into the timeline, they go, "This is my final approach," and you know, that was a joke for Dragon Ball Z fans.
I got
So
it.
speaking about PlayStation and Stadia, Haven and Jade Raymond did a little interview, and they said they're working on a cloud native game under PlayStation.
Oh, that's awesome! I'm so
What, say that
happy to
again?
hear
Say that
that.
again?
Jade Raymond and Haven, they're working on a cloud native game for PlayStation.
Oh yeah, we know that. Yeah, that was so what was the telltale of that was they said they was months ago they was working on a game that was that was a terabyte, right, in size. And so we know there's never been a terabyte game, so that had people speculating. I mean, I never heard them spell it out, but we do know that PlayStation bought them, so last week is official. They're officially
Stadia's got their games now.
FCAT,
Xbox working on theirs. Now we got PlayStation in the mix.
FCAT, do you know what? Do you know what I love about Jade Raymond is that 3.5 years ago, so 2.5 years ago, when we got Jade Raymond on the Stadia sort of board, for example, in development games, people was like, "Oh, she's washed out. No one cares." Right, and I feel no one cared that she was developing a Google Studio for the potential of offering, you know, cloud elasticity and 1 terabit game with thousands of players. No one give a crap. And then now, fast forward 2.5 years, 3 years, now we're supposed to expect that because it's under the PlayStation brand, we're also supposed to go, "Well done, Jade Raymond, for joining back to PlayStation to create this cloud experience." But because I feel like a lot of people relate to the PlayStation brand, they have more hope. But when she actually jumped ship, no one cared. But now she's back in Sony, everyone's like, "Well done." So I feel like there was potential there. Google realised to drop this sort of multi-million-pound project before it becomes too costly, and then move it on to.
Well, to be fair, host, gaming, as I always say it, and I still say it, it's a popularity contest, right? So at the end of the day, it's just popular. PlayStation's popular, Xbox popular. Like Jay Raymond could have went to Nintendo and said, "We're making a cloud native game," and everybody was like, "Oh wow!" Well, whoever cares. Trust me, there's people who don't care and don't know what Haven Studio is. We just know because we're into cloud gaming. If I ask my friends, they'd be like, "So," and because they get studios all the time.
So saying Hideo Kojima is making a cloud native game, that's just, you know, whatever.
Well, that holds more weight to me. But he did say himself that's going to be years down the road.
Come on, like
you know, it's never going to come out.
We all seen the term Hideo Kojima, and we all seen Death Stranding, and a lot of people was like, "What the is this game? It's a walking simulator. It's bizarre," and a lot of people sort of lost the investment in Hideo Kojima because it wasn't tied to sort of the Metal Gear Solid title. So I feel like it doesn't hold weight as it used to, should I say. I mean, I still respect him, how he sort of evolves the gameplay, but just because he evolves gameplay is not what the gamers actually want to play in today's world.
So let me get on this. This is funny. Cloudy V said, oh man, he said in Saints Row's exclusive next gen PS5, Xbox Series X, and Stadia is next gen. They have more power than PS5. Sorry, it's a fact. No, so Stadia has 10.7 teraflops, and PlayStation has 10.28. So PlayStation is more, and Xbox has 12. Now, whatever. It's all about optimizing the game. That's the thing. Whatever developers have to use the hardware they have, and then optimize. You could get 10 teraflops and still get an indie game. Then, what happened to the 12 teraflops?
Yeah, perfect, Cowboy. I think the narrative the last 2 years is that teraflops, the developers have been saying teraflops mean nothing. I think we all need optimization. Yep. So it depends how they optimize it for the Stadia platform to see how the game runs. So in the end, they could put more love into the PlayStation 5 title, and we'll all be like, "Oh my god, it looks better on there." Right. Or they could show the same amount of love on Stadia, and we could sort of go, "Oh my god, it looks just as good." Right.
Well, here's my thing.
It's not about teraflops.
Cloudy V, what makes you say Stadia is more powerful than PlayStation? Because I never seen numbers that suggested that. Besides, if you say it's cloud, but again, That doesn't matter because Google's not making games anymore. That matters to a developer if the developer utilize the cloud, right? So if you don't use that basis, then we just gotta go off of the specs, and the specs show that PlayStation 5 specs are higher than Stadia. So,
well, we see that Ubisoft has announced that they're using cloud computing technology in their games now, and I only can assume that's working with Stadia that they found that.
And do you know what I actually found funny in today's gaming society? That we still actually measure teraflops, and we only relate the performance to gaming just to the GPU. And we all know that there's other performance issues in the CPU, the storage and stuff like that, how you actually wire the system up. So in the end, we should start moving away from teraflops, the measurement.
Yeah. You know what's funny, though? So he said when Jade Raymond actually produced something that's worth a squat, let's talk about it. I bet you, though, if she was still working on a game on Stadia, people would be going crazy. People wouldn't be saying when she produced the game.
Right. Okay, I'm not dissing Jade Raymond. She has got a brilliant track record, and I'm pretty sure if she stuck to the team that she was with, she would have developed an amazing game for the cloud.
But what kind of game do you think of when you
But the point is we would all jumped on it, and then in 5 years, would a lot of people jumped on board the sort of the Stadia or the Google immersive stream brands to actually play this game? I don't think so. So I think the game would have been overlooked. And I know that I've played games in the past that sort of been diluted because other games that have not, that have got a bigger franchise title has diluted that franchise. And I think that's what will happen with Jade Raymond. So I feel it's better that Google cut her away to sort of have the freedom in what she was used to, which was the PlayStation ecosystem with the games she produced. And I hope this game that she produces in the future can actually, bring a lot of cloud gamers to the forefront. Yeah. But I don't think it would have been successful. Even though Google wanted to be successful, I don't think the gamers were ready. So, great that she moved ship.
Yeah, so Fletch, what's going on, brother? He's in here. He said, I thought the PS5 was 9 something, but overclocked at 10 point. I never heard that. I don't know. But I'll say this about the Jade Raymond thing. I think them coming out with a cloud game, here's the telltale sign, right? So Holtz has a great point. We don't know what it would have been like in 5 years if it came out. But here's the question. Luna is out, and Amazon Studios is part under umbrella, part of the same umbrella as Luna, and they create games. But here's to tell you guys, cloud gaming isn't popular yet. They are making games that they put on PC and won't put on Luna. That has to tell you that stop beating on cloud gaming so much because Amazon has the money, right? Nobody never say, well, Amazon should just throw the games on Luna. They got the money. No, they don't say that because Amazon wants to know that our player base isn't big on Luna.
Well, it's horrible to say that we all thought New Worlds was going to be the big, huge exclusive in the cloud for Luna, and then they dropped it on PC and GeForce Now and stuff like that. And it was like, oof, if Amazon could do that without faith, it's like, I'm pretty sure it represents what other services doing by sort of offshooting it to other places and waiting to see how the adaptation rate of clouds happens in the next so many years.
So let me get on this because this was something Cloudy V was concerned about. So he mentioned to me the other day about God of War coming out, right? And he said, how's God of War only 4K 30? So he said, so tell me how optimized God of War is coming, at 4K 30 on the mighty PlayStation 5, Sony Cowboy. So I told you myself, personally, I have yet to see a game because you were mentioning that he was mentioning about 120. I've never seen a game in 120, right? But then Paul said there's a 4K 60 mode with dynamic res. So there you go, Cloudy V.
No, but you see, the issue is right. The market when the PlayStation 5 came out is the potential to hit 4K 120.
Right.
And okay, I admit that it's up to the developers, not up to the service providers or the manufacturers, and they have provided features and gameplay to hit our 4K 30 as a solid, because that's what they're going to offer. But the marketing behind the PlayStation 5 was up to 120, so we feel like we were going to get an evolution in gaming, and we're sitting there thinking to ourselves, that's not the case. We could play God of War Ragnarok and probably have checkerboards upscaling 4K 30, and it'll still run just as good as the PlayStation 5. But we all fell into the marketing feeling that the PlayStation 5 was going to give us this better experience too. And now, this is what I was saying in past streams, we will get the better experience if we sort of do what the PC gamers do, where we tune into the settings and we tune in, do we want fidelity? Do we want performance? Do we want something with ray tracing? We have to sort of subsidize what we actually want. And I personally don't feel like that's what I wanted for next gen.
Yeah. Here's what's weird though. Cloudy B keeps saying a mighty PlayStation. The Xbox is the mighty console. The Xbox is the most powerful console. See, this is the fanboy stuff I'm talking about. He's only saying that because I got a PlayStation 5. Like, if you calling out Stadia and consoles, don't say... Why would you say the mighty PlayStation? PlayStation.
No, I do agree with Cowboy. The Series X is the better console this generation.
Series X is the powerhouse.
Yeah, we already know.
Yeah, so this is the fanboy stuff. He has a problem that I got a PlayStation 5, so now he's making this a Stadia versus PlayStation 5. That makes no sense. If you talk, like, I don't get that. You might want to take that fanboy hat off. It's tight right now.
Xbox is winning.
Well, there's a move recently announced yesterday about the FCC and America Internet Standards.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you heard about this, but they're proposing new internet standards of 100 megabytes over 20 megabytes now for the FCC standards in America. And she says in the future, the goal is to hit 1 gig for a national standard. And I mean, if that doesn't say cloud is on everyone's TV, like
I don't know, because I've been playing like cloud gaming, let's say, a decade ago, and UK standards has always been ahead of sort of like American standards, what I've known personally and watched the statistics. But hearing that jump to 100 megabits is actually a good thing for like 2022, because here our average is like 57. And I've not seen any news report yet of it actually jumping above that average. So it's good to see that America take approach to bring better infrastructure, because when I actually speak to cloud gamers, I always feel like data cap, slow speeds was always a factor compared to what Europeans are used to. So it's good to actually see them getting these above par standards, should I say. And I come from an area that's got 1 gig down. But like I said, just because I've got 1 gig down doesn't mean that I am average to represent the whole country. So it's actually good to see the FCC announce this, because once they announce it, it'll be great to see other companies jump on board to help the infrastructure grow in sort of like streaming media, should I say.
Let me ask you this, folks, you guys that's into all this stuff. I was watching somebody's video, and they was talking about a God of War thing. And they said they hope they and I never heard this before. So they hope they have a mode that's 4K 40 frames per second. I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, Ratchet and Clank came out at that sort of performance, and it was sort of fine-tuned, and it was slowly like 46, 52. Okay. And over time, it was optimized to bring better frame rates. But at that point, it was literally 4K 40, which was better than 30. And a lot of people were sort of happy with that, but like it's sort of the PC market that say it has to be locked at 60.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, I look at God of War, for example, in this epicness, and I look at the graphics and performance, and I couldn't give a crap that it wasn't 60. I just look at it and go, oof, that's a gorgeous game. But yeah, I know there's people out there that need that 60 FPS, but to me, I'm like, come on. You have to look and see what the developer's done to make this game as smooth as great.
I think that's what always deterred me from a PC, is that knowing that I could tinker and mess with stuff. I think I would be addicted to looking at the counter. Like, I literally watch people on PC, the whole game they play with this counter up. I'm like, you don't take that off? Like, I'm watching them stream, and that's the whole time. Oh, I dipped 2 frames. I dipped to 5 frames. I'm like, so I just want to play the game like you said, right? If I'm just playing it and let's say it's 40 or 50 or 60, but it looks great and I wouldn't know. It just looks great.
But you see, a lot of gamers are sitting there running like a GPU, a 3080, at like 4K 60 and going, look at this. But they're running it on a monitor with a refresh rate of a size of like what, 27 inch at 120. But if you put that on like a 4K display, you put it on a higher monitor display, you ain't gonna run it without like sort of screen tearing, so you have to drop it down. But of course in YouTube they're not going to announce that, they're just going to just sort of capture it that. But to me, I'm like, come on, just aim the game at the average person, because come on, 4K 30 does look gorgeous for the likes of God of War.
Yeah. Well, this because I think Cloudy V said he said the only way these systems can achieve that 4K 120 is with AMD, which is upscaling. But does it? Here's my question: does it matter? Like, I don't know. I mean,
well, yeah, of course. I mean, you know, getting that AMD sort of FSR, you know, fidelity is the sort of lower the resolution just to boot, and then the upscaler. You lower the resolution and upscale it again to get better resolution, which I think they're going to incorporate it to the Switch games as well. So wouldn't it be amazing if Switch became a powerhouse now in better than 1080? So I think these technologies now are sort of going to revolutionize how we can sort of have lower powered usage in gaming, but still have a standard that meets a lot of people's needs and the developers' needs.
I played my Switch in 4 or 2K at least with a little upgrade device. You can just like plug it right into your TV, into your Switch, and it upscales the Switch to 4K or to 2K.
Like the NVIDIA Shield, right? Shield TV.
Wait, so what's this device? Is it legit?
It's just a plug and play. It looks crisper to my eyes. I'm not there testing it or anything like that, but it seems to be a successful little device.
Ooh, I would have to look and see if it gives a little power boost, because I was saying this in clouds when I was using my CCU with my telly. I had a certain brand of TV, and they sort of had like upscaling performance on the TV, and everyone's like, "Oh, it looks crap using the CCU," and I was like, "With on my display, it absolutely looks absolutely gorgeous." So maybe there's actually hardware that gives you that little boost to make it look more crisp.
So let me jump into this war with them going on about the PlayStation and the Xbox. Also, real quick, Cloudy V said, "Don't put words in his mouth." I'm just saying, I don't know why you chose to say Mighty PS5, even though you're talking about a game, the God of War. It made no sense to say Mighty PS5. Like I don't the disconnect with that I don't get. But I did. My favorite system was the PS3. I'm kind of with PSX because you could have movies on there, you could have music on there and pictures. I thought it was cool. I could like, that was the only console I know of that I could actually mod things. So back when I used to play Unreal Tournament, I was running around with Master Chief in it. Like, it was cool that you could actually add mods. And then when PlayStation 4 came out, they stopped you from doing that. Like when PlayStation 3 was out, I could actually add music in a wrestling game that didn't have the proper music, right? And let's say they didn't get a contract to get the license that music. I was able to add the music in the game. PlayStation 4 came out, I couldn't do that. But going on to okay.
You said PSX, and I was like, wait, PSX? PlayStation 1?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, they're PlayStation 3. Yeah, amazing console. I totally agree. Blew it away.
But as far as the Xbox and PlayStation, what I love is Xbox, for me, is really trying to say we don't care about the console wars. For instance, in my specific circumstance, Xbox pretty much told me, you don't need to go out and buy one of our consoles. You could either A, play these same games on your PC you got now, or B, you could just get xCloud. So they're allowing me to have Stadia, PlayStation, and Xbox, right? So let's say if I had to choose between Xbox and PlayStation, like I told somebody the other day, somebody said, do you think I should get a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X? I said, well, here's the thing. If you want to double dip, get yourself your PS5 and then just get a Xbox subscription, the Game Pass. Because then even without an Xbox console, you'll still be able to play those Xbox games. But then you'll still be able to have, like, as if you want one of the next gen, But if you go the other route and get a Xbox Series X or S, right, you won't be able to play the PlayStation exclusives. So that's why I feel like you could double dip.
I feel like even since like the Xbox One, they sort of marketed the Play Anywhere, which was the Xbox One, the 360, and sort of it was the PC infrastructure, and now sort of they evolved that to sort of incorporate backwards family devices, and they've incorporated it now to cater for the cloud. Not all cloud, but it's going there in the future. So I feel like it's definitely got to be a Series X this generation, and it has been sort of going off the last generation. I think Sony is being winning because they had studios and exclusives, but of course we have seen big hitters from Microsoft the last few years to sort of rival that, and then now sort of Microsoft's going, now PlayStation, what are you going to offer? Which we thought sort of Spartacus was going to sort of revolutionize cloud, and it, each to their own. It sort of didn't compared to what we see with Xbox.
So here's the thing. I think we actually merged it. We created a whole new topic, right? That had nothing to do with my video. So we could get off of my video because obviously nobody said anything. Unless you guys have any last thing you want to say about my video, because I want to jump over to the
what was the next topic?
Well, the next topic was discuss do you fear subscription services? I think what's cool is that host just mentioned the PlayStation subscription, so I kind of wanted to go right into that. But anybody else got anything to say about my video?
Oh, the Stadia rant one.
Yeah, the one I put out this morning.
You need to get over that. We're concerned customers, people. That's all you gotta say.
Okay.
No, totally agree. I pay with my my wallet, and of course I would like to see a lot of things. I don't represent a community, but I feel like as a person who's invested in so many titles, I feel like I'm allowed to shake my rattle every now and again just to say to the community, well, I want my game, let's all get on board. And I feel like if that was your game, I would support exactly the same.
You know what's frustrating too is that Stadia reached out to everybody in the community earlier this year. They gave us a survey. They were like, 3 wishes. Give us your big Stadia 3 wishes. And they promised to give us feedback on that, and yet we've heard nothing from them. They just took in all that information. Again, we're left sort of hung and dry. So,
we're still playing it. We're still paying for Pro. We're still buying the games. But all of a sudden, we're haters.
I'm not a hater. I'm just recognizing some faults in a system.
We're still paying Google Stadia money.
I got charged today.
Sorry, I have to admit that I actually don't pay for Stadia Pro. I sort of go into cycles where I feel like because Stadia Pro offers 3 months worth of, you can take a break but still claim all the titles. I feel like sometimes until I actually need the 4K up to 4K 60 on the game that I'm purchasing, I can actually take a break, and then I can sort of go 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, but still claim all the Pro titles. So I feel like.
But the best thing about that, Hulse, is you don't have to pay for the Pro.
No, but which is a better service than the likes of Games with Gold or PlayStation Plus, where you've only got a 1 month window.
Yeah. So let me say this though. I think Rudigs, and this I'm just saying, maybe they didn't respond to us about the survey because maybe the most popular stuff they wanted, Stadia couldn't commit to. So it's like, because if they respond, maybe they would have had to put a graph. You guys said you wanted 58% games. You said you wanted 38%, and maybe it's like.
Well, no, I feel like that. Say the poll said we all want FIFA 23, for example. I feel once we got that, the next question would have been, we got FIFA 23, and then there would have been a community side that would have went, where's Madden? Where's Need for Speed? And then it would have sort of snowballed. So I feel it's better than they keep quiet and announce the titles when they're willing to announce with the partnerships.
So since Avatar got delayed till next year or probably 2024, I don't see Stadia popping off anymore. Maybe when that X Defiant, whenever the hell that comes out.
Yeah. Oh wait, when is that coming out?
It's still in test mode.
Okay. This is a good point though, Cloudy V. So he was talking about Aminar. I'm gonna put this up because Aminar is trolling. But he said cloud validation is sour. That Stadia is not as good as PS5. But then he responded, wait, let me find. He said, if I wanted a PS5, I could get a PS5. He's not wasting his money on hardware anymore. I do agree though that what cloud offer, it makes you not care about hardware, but the games is the thing. So again, in my video, notice I said this the most. I said, if you don't care about games, then Stadia is really good for you, right? But maybe, let's say income-wise, you couldn't afford a $500 console. Then you could still be like, well, Stadia is good for me, but it might annoy you that they don't get all the games.
Well, I would like to say to chat that, for example, just because Ubisoft Avatar's been delayed, it's not just an attack against Stadia; it's a delayment in Luna, GeForce Now, Stadia, and the possibility of bringing the Ubisoft Plus subscription to the consoles. So it's a knock-on effect to a lot, not just one specific thing.
Yeah. Everybody. But yeah, guys, let's talk about the subscription service. The reason why I brought it up is Doc Dark had a really good video today, and he was saying that two things. Actually, he mentioned it on my thing, and he mentioned two things: is people fear the cloud, and people fear subscription services. So me, I guess, not even thinking about it. I'm like, well, I'm new to subscription services, but I'm really not, because I've had this longer than Game Pass been out, longer than a lot, but I didn't really think about it. Well, yeah, I've been renting games since I think 2008.
Do you know what, Cowboy? I was all up for subscriptions years ago, and I actually love subscriptions. There's probably streams where you've seen me praise them, but at this time, I absolutely hate them because there's so much fragmentation in services these days that I feel like I have to subscribe to a lot of things that I used to have, and now I feel like the fragmentation makes me go to this service and that service and that service, and I feel like in the past I never sort of imagined that the cost would add up. So now per month subscription costs has got out of hand, and I feel like I can't play games that fast to justify that subscription. So I feel like I need to take a step back now. I was all up for annual subscriptions, but I feel now that if I subscribe annually to like GeForce Now and Ubisoft Plus and EA Pro Play and stuff like that, I feel like I lose money. So I feel now I have to take a step back now and look what the service offers us that month, and then focus just on what I need to play, than the idea of owning all subscriptions just to brag about it, for example.
That is great. Hold on real quick. Guys, before I jump forward, I got a question. So I want to ask you guys this because I answered it. So I want to ask all you guys. Now, Cloudy V brought this up. Excuse me. So it made me think about it. So he's just saying that he's disappointed that xCloud has a great library, but it plays like crap. He's disappointed that GeForce Now haven't brought any big games. So my question is this for Cloudy V and then you guys. What are you disappointed in Stadia? Because I know you're bringing up other services, but since Stadia is a main focal point of conversations we have, my disappointment is the games. Can each of you guys just give me like what, if you want to do more than one, but what are you disappointed in with Stadia?
Probably the game.
For me, the technology runs great.
The games not being, updated, not getting DLC.
Okay, so you're upset with the game support. So it's not that they're not getting games, but the games that's on here, that you're saying the support, the games that they have don't get, right?
Right.
Okay, that's cool.
And not online and Stadia alone. No, Stadia by itself online lobbies are pretty much ghost town.
Okay, so the small player base. What about you, Rudigs?
I would say my only problem is that I can't play everything on Stadia, which is kind of like a backhanded, I don't know what you want to call that, but like if I could play all the games I wanted on Stadia, I would, because the technology is awesome. I'll max my PC playing at 4K. So that would be my only complaint. Like, get everything, but I can't expect them to get everything because that would blow money out the sky and it wouldn't make sense as a business. And I can understand that as a business owner.
Yep. And so your gripe is my gripe. It's just the game, the lack of game.
Yeah, but as a gamer, I can play. I can download it on PC if I want to play it. Like the new Cuphead came out, I went right through that on PC, but it's not an issue for me. I love Stadia as an option.
Right.
Talking about that comment, the reason why xCloud messes up is because ever since they brought in Fortnite, it's increased the traffic.
You see, my problem is once again games, but my games are like, for example, is what was supported by past developments. So Bandai Namco, we haven't got Demon Slayer, for example. EA, we haven't got Grid Legends. Square Enix, we haven't got Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy. But that's not just a Stadia problem, that is a cloud problem, because no services has got it. So I feel like, where did these developers sort of shift their perspective in cloud? I mean, I understand where they shifted it because they realised that a lot of community members weren't approaching clouds as fast as was perceived. But to me, I'm like, come on, you should have still brought the games for me. So I feel like all cloud dropped the ball, which includes Stadia. So that's where in this question I included in.
Yeah. Now here's something with Cloudy V. He said, Cloudy V, sorry to pick on you, but you know, you're the token fanboy right now. He said, I would be more disappointed though if I bought a PlayStation 5 and the advertisement I saw promised 4K 120 next gen gaming and wasn't getting it 90% of the time. So the promise was it was up to, and same thing with Stadia, because then we could say, well, Stadia had promised, I don't want to say promise, but they said they could do 8K and 120. You guys all remember that, right? I'm not the only one, right?
No, I remember them saying up to 4K 60. I can't remember saying the potential of 8K. Was that in a report or?
Yeah, I thought they said they could do up to 8K 120. But obviously, you know, nothing is, because the thing was they could always upgrade themselves.
Of course, I'm not shallow with the internet provider. You know, there's a few people that have got the same speeds as me that I would like not to be restricted and give me the best performance that my bandwidth could sort of provide. That's how I feel, but it's not going to be cost effective to the likes of Google to provide that.
So, back to subscriptions.
Hey, we deviated real quick. So back to subscription. So here's the thing. Holtz had a good point. What do you guys think? Because Holtz talked about it. Do you, FCAT and Rudigs, do you prefer paying for the whole year, or do you prefer paying month to month?
FCAT,
me first. Oh my god. So I kind of have a grudge with subscriptions and cloud, well, in gaming in general, because I believe that subscriptions like that should stay on Netflix and movies and music. It should not be in games. Another thing is Stadium GSN got the free tier. I mean,
Okay, well, I mean, listen, anything free to allow people to check something out, I think is good. But I don't look at these free tiers as something to actually consistently give me things to play. So me, and we're going to get into Root Digs, when I look at the subscriptions, I look at it just like Netflix. My wife and I will be like, okay, what should we watch now? We just look at trailers. These are things we had no interest in unless we heard somebody word of mouth. Somebody say, oh, this show is good, right? But we're just flipping through. We find something. We watch it. So I look at these subscription services, same thing. Same thing with my GameFly. I just GameFly games that I hear are supposed to be good. They look interesting, but I don't plan on buying them. I don't use subscription services, me personally, to get games that I want to own. Those games I'm just going to go out and purchase, right? Or it's just a game I want to beat. I don't feel like it has good replay value. I know once I beat it, I'll probably never play it again. Like a Devil May Cry. Love it, love it. But you know what? I notice when I beat them, I don't play them, so I send them back. So, But I don't. What are you gonna say, host? Because I know Rude Diggs. I want him to get his take in there.
No, great approach. I mean, these games, like I said, 8-10 hours. You're absolutely right. You play it once, great experience, and you can probably subsidize the approach by doing GameFly. Sometimes I wish I could take that sort of mentality, but I don't have that service. But to me, I buy games because I can share it with sort of family members. But I totally agree how like sort of you can save that game because once again, played once and you don't need to play. You don't need to play it again. But on that note, Cowboy, I need to actually hop off because I'm going to watch something called Rihanna Pratchett on a certain person's stream. So I'm really excited to see it. So I have to hop off.
Nice.
But enjoy. But enjoy. I'll catch the last bit of the stream.
Okay.
Enjoy, guys.
All right, we'll be getting off soon. Thanks, man. Just to explain this to Josh, what do you? So Stadia isn't a subscription. Stadia has a subscription. So Stadia is free, right? You don't need a subscription. Like for instance, Marvel Avengers, it's not on Stadia subscription Pro. I bought it regular, like you would buy it on PlayStation or Xbox, and now I have it to own. So Stadia isn't a subscription. Stadia has a subscription. PlayStation 5, Xbox, Nintendo, they're not a subscription, but they do have a subscription. But you don't need this subscription to have them. And that's the beauty of Stadia. That's why I always thought Stadia was my favorite, because I didn't have to have a subscription. And if I stop having a subscription, I lose everything. I can just buy only the game I want. But Rudiggs, you want to jump in there as far as
the free tier? But I wanted to ask you, Cowboy. I saw this good question on Twitter one time. It said, if GFN and Stadia dropped the free tier, how many people would they lose?
Honestly, Stadia's free tier, it's not that many games. I don't know anybody me personally, I don't know anybody who's told me they love Stadia's free tier. I can't even. I mean, I could think hard of what games are on there, and I think
for the free online multiplayer. I mean,
oh, that's different though. That's not. So, So GFN being free, right, allows you to just get some free games from Epic and all that, right? Stadia has their own free games, right? Online is something different. We have to categorize that as something different, because I know my guy Suave said the day they start charging for online, then he's done with Stadia.
Right.
So, right. But he doesn't care about a free tier of games because he just like to buy one game he only liked. So I feel like that's different. That's a different question, if that's fair. But Rudiggs, jump in there, man.
Yeah, I would like to say that one, with all of these different models coming out, I'd like to make sure that I'm supporting the people actually making the games. Like the worst thing I hear out there is when developers make games and then they lose money doing it. That's just like absolutely brutal. And if that's caused by a subscription model, I mean, I would hate that. The reason why I do subscription personally is because I'm a scatterbrain at times, and I'm not like into one game specifically, and I like to jump between game and game, and like Stadia just has a massive library, so my brain is constantly occupied by the genres. And with the a la carte option, you just buy whatever game you want if it's not there. Man, I think more options is better in any case. Like, and Stadia having the multiple options is just the best way to do it. In terms of free tier, I don't know anyone who plays Stadia free tier. I've tried to play GFN free tier, and I'm too impatient to wait for these queues. Like, it's just impossible to get into.
That's a really only bad thing, but like once your hour's up, you can close out the game and start it back over and get that hour back.
No, but like actually waiting to get into the queue, like nothing worse than I'm ready to game right now, and
like minimize it.
181 people are in front of me. What? I gotta like.
I never tried it, but I don't even. I mean, here's the thing. Somebody said to me, "Why don't you try GFN?" I said, "There's no need." It was like, "No, but try it to at least see it." I said, "There's no need." So in my life, if I'm gonna put let me start over. You guys know I love the word interest. If I'm gonna put interest into something, it has to interest me, right? So I feel like GFN, I praise it. The mighty 3080 is just that I already got Stadia, right? I already got, and I'm a picky gamer, right? And I never ever owned a PC game. So that means I would have to get their subscription or do their free tier, because we're talking about the free tier right now, and then go search out Epic games. And it's just, for me, because I don't know much about Epic or anything about PC, it's just really no point, right? But if I did, hold on real quick, Kat, if I did all of that, and as he said, it's 180 something people in front of me, I'm like, what? Yeah, so, but if you're into PC, that might not bother you because you might just be so accustomed to the whole world of it, you know? But
yeah, I ride on the free tier, and it doesn't really bother me. Like, the graphics are good. I'm still getting, 60 frames.
A good friend of mine, I got to give a shout out, just reminded me. Thank you very much for that reminder, and I won't forget it. She reminded me to do something I've been talking about at work, talking about the shows I do, and I keep saying I'm gonna start doing something, and I forget, and I say it all the time at work, and I don't do it. So she said one day I'm just gonna pop in your stream, and she reminded me, and I know she wrote that like a half an hour ago, and I'm just finally getting to it. But good stuff.
Quick on the subscriptions, I want to add one more thing. As a gamer, when you come from the Xbox or PS and you go into the Stadia atmosphere, you're already used to paying for the subscription to just be able to play online. Like, it's no stranger to gaming. They brought that in a while ago, like you guys were alluding to with online play, because Stadia is already online. It's kind of like that's built into the membership. It's almost cheaper when you get all of the games with your online membership.
What had happened with Stadia was that everybody thought, okay, so originally when it launched, you had to have Pro, and when they didn't get enough players or people or whatever, they were the 1 million mark.
Right.
Well, they decided to make the 1080p free. And they didn't really put that out there to get advertised, and people say, "Oh, wait, Stadia is free now."
Well, no. I was invested heavily into Stadia before it came out. So I subscribed to Stadia back in June, and it came out in November. We knew from day one Stadia was free. Like, they put all that info out there. It would be free. They just said at first, the early adopters, it's going to cost $129 to get the kit, right? But we knew eventually it was going to be free. So when people ask me, like, oh, I heard it was free, it's like, it's not free yet. But we knew it would be free. They always said that from day one. They just wanted, it was kind of like, I don't want to say a crowd-funded thing, but they just knew, like, hey, at first, and remember, it ran out. Eventually, there were no more spots to be a founder. It wasn't like they did it forever. It wasn't like it was the premiere. So we knew, like, Stadia was a free platform. It just wasn't in the very beginning. And also that's because of overloading, right? If it's free and everybody jump in, then you're going to have a lot of issues with the servers and stuff like that. But guess what, Kat?
Yo.
And now your mama knows. But let me ask you this. Because there's people that feel like subscription services is, and I want to answer, sorry about that. I know who was that asked me if we was going to raid Purple. I definitely will. I mean, it's only 6 people watching right now, but I will add her thing, and when we close out, we could jump right to her stream, whoever wants to, or if you guys want to leave now. I don't even know who she has on today. I thought she had it pre-recorded. I'm not sure. But anyway, you guys are fine to leave. She's streaming right now. But there's people who feel that subscription services is going to worsen gaming. They feel that, like on Stadia, right? With Stadia Pro, we know that these developers, if their game is played more, they make more money, right? Now it is a cap at $3 million. So people feel that these companies, developers, are going to start making games just more of a cash grab, something that make you just play and play and play and play, right? So let's say you put a game on there that is 12 hours and you beat it, and it's kind of really no more replay value, but had a great story. The game that's a live service, they're going to make more money because you're going to play it longer than 12 hours. So that's where the whole fear comes from, is that, excuse me, subscription services is going to mess up gaming. Do you guys, what's your thoughts on that? And Rudig, I'll go with you first.
I would just say I would echo the media industry there. I mean, subscription services just made a lot of great media content come out of Netflix producing. Now they're making their own movies. I think it'll honestly just push people to always grab gamers like they do. I think a lot of these studios realize microtransactions are a big place to play in the economy of gamers, and that's not going away anytime soon. So I think maybe they'll just hype that up. I mean, we see a lot of that with like different skins, all that stuff being purchasable, and I don't think that's going to go away. So, it'll just make them activate in different areas. You lose your sense of smell, your hearing gets better.
What about when PlayStation said they won't put their games, their exclusive games, and this is what they said. Sony said they won't put their subscription games on the service because it would lose the and this is what people are saying, it would lose they said this, right? Jim Ryan said it would lose the quality of games because it costs so much to make those story driven and big budget games that for them to put it on a subscription service, they couldn't spend the same amount of money. So the quality of product they put out, they would lose. So that's why. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was first alluding to as well, is I want to make sure these developers get what they're paid for so they can make another great hit and come out again more pumped out and more powered to get the next one. So the economy needs to adjust to these game industry standards that are coming out with subscription, because if gamers are going to the way of subscription, like there's no way to stop that economy ball. I mean, that's just the way it's going to go.
But here's the thing, Rudigs, if gamers start saying, listen, I love Game Pass, it's allowing me to just get a bunch of games, right? And if Xbox realize that they allow all their games, their first party studio games to be in there, and they're not making the money and seeing the profit. I know they're doing it to offer, hey, gamers, get Game Pass because all our games are in there. Like, that's a steal, right? Nobody could deny that. But what if they're like, listen, just not enough people are joining that we're actually making back this capital. So instead of spending 30 million to make the next Halo, why don't we spend 12 million? Well, then what if a 12 million, again, I'm just making these numbers up, guys. But if a 30 million game dropped to 12 million, then what is losing? Is graphical fidelity? Is it the length of the game, right? So I think that's what people are fearful of. So I just wanted to throw those things out there so we can have these talks.
Yeah, and I think the greatest instigator for that would be competition. I mean, that's the one thing that's going to drive these other companies. Like if Bethesda is going to go down to 12 million, well, that's the perfect opportunity for the next company to be like, let's double our budget and let's grab all of those gamers. And then that's when the next greatest game is going to come out, when those people try to steal it. So I think like these new subscription and new economy models really switch powers almost from these studios, because it's really these studios who are able to adapt and really take advantage of these new economy models that succeed. Or you're From Software and you just keep making freaking amazing games time after time.
Yeah. Well, you know what's weird too? I feel like not to go into the console war things or whatever, I feel like to be in the cloud gaming, you're very open-minded. I never hear cloud gamers talk about we fear subscriptions. That's more of a console thing. I always see my console friends, my Xbox friends, and my PlayStation friends that do content. That's their thing. Like, and it's mainly the PlayStation people, because they see how successful Xbox is doing. But I almost feel like that's just a shot against Xbox. Oh, we think Xbox is going to ruin Game Pass is going to ruin gaming. But I feel like, do you really believe that? But then Jim Ryan comes out and say what he says. But I feel like cloud gaming, I don't ever feel like subscription services is threatening gaming. I mean, I do get what Sony was saying, but I feel like if an indie company or a AAA company want to add their game in a subscription service, they either A, had to be given a great deal to do so that they think they're going to profit from. They may or may not, right? Because look at what's the little guy, Oddworld. The recent Oddworld was put on PlayStation Plus, and the old PlayStation Plus, and they came out and said they was upset that they lost money, that the game, more people got the game more than what they thought. So when the deal Sony gave them, they end up losing money. But then one could say, well, do you think that game would have sold that well if it wasn't on a subscription? Do you think that many people would have got it? Right? So
Yeah.
it's an up in the air. It's a toss.
You know what's the funny thing about it though, Cowboy?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why PC can laugh at console is because of subscription service.
Let's say that again.
Because of subscription services. I mean, it's free online on PC. No ifs or buts.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but the idea with cloud over PC is that I don't have to tax my PC to play this game at 4K. I don't have to play with the stats to bring it down. I can even pull out my old computer and run 4K. What? Like, it's really, I guess it's the gamer's choice right now. It's like where you want to play until the economy really decides which side more gamers went to.
Right. But when it really comes down to it, as we get to close this thing out, it's to each his own. I now feel like I'm doing pretty good, right? I got my PlayStation 5, so if there comes a game that I want and I can't get, guess what? I'll get it. I got my Xbox Game Pass or xCloud because they put the exclusive games on there. So if it comes out on there, I'm gonna get it. And I got my Stadia for my versatility. I could go anywhere to the park and play. And let's be fair, right? I'm gonna be fair. This is the dumb stuff we get into. When I felt I was pushing Stadia so hard, it's like I wanted everything to be on Stadia. So it was like all or nothing. But you're not gonna, I realized, right? You can't get everything, right? So when people be like, oh, well, you want to walk to the park and play Stadia, but you're not gonna play God of War. Well, guess what? I can't play God of War when I'm at work. There's always going to be a time where you can't play something. So, oh, well, with Stadia, you don't have downloads or whatever. Well, guess what? I could just download that and play something else on the console. So we always want something to be better, but everything has something that something else doesn't have. And at the end of the day, it's up to you to say, I want 80 services and consoles, or I only want one, but that's all on you at the end of the day. So gaming without limits, if you ask me, just do what you want to do, because you want to do it, and Rude Diggs. All I want to say is, and now your mama knows. I'm just saying. But anything else you guys want to add to anything all day we talked about? Anything extra in gaming before we close this thing out?
Yeah, personally, I would say that as a cloud gamer, I have a PC. I would say I miss out on the PS5 experience because I feel like they have some big bangers out there, some great games I would love to play, and I just wish it was accessible by cloud because I can't see myself buying a PS5, and I would buy a la carte on a PS5 cloud if that was the option. And I hope we get there because I'd love to be able to play all of these different titles from my own hardware instead of buying all these different hardwares. I want to be green and conscious at the same time.
Yeah, I want to echo. So the fact that I got a PlayStation 5, I definitely want to echo that. I wish, like, I would have never had to get a console, right? So when they mentioned Project Spartacus, right? This is great you brought it up because I almost forgot. Well, I did forget. So when they mentioned Project Spartacus, I was like, oh, PlayStation's getting into the cloud? I didn't care about anything else but cloud. So I said this. I said, they have to do what Xbox is doing. Xbox, when they put out games on Game Pass, like 95% of those games is cloud. That's great. So I got to give PlayStation credit. So their new games came out earlier this week, and it was 15 games. 2 of them was PlayStation 5 only games. 13 was PlayStation 4. All 13 was on the cloud. I said, see, that's what I want to see. So that was cool. But to mainly jump into your point, yeah, man, I want to have a damn PlayStation 5 if the PlayStation 5 games was going to be on cloud. Like, am I stupid? Because I would have been able to play them the same way I play Stadia. And I don't have a Stadia console. No, right? So it's just like Xbox. That's why I got xCloud. Because now, mind you, in xCloud, to go back in the subscription thing, I had it, canceled it, got it again. This is my third go with it, actually fourth go with it, right? They had a $1 deal. I got xCloud for 3 months for $1. So, and right now I'm not really playing it. I went on there earlier this week, yesterday, my stream. I was looking like, guys, you tell me what to play, right? But guess what? At the end of the day, it was, even if I paid full price, it's $15 a month. That's the luxury of getting to scroll through like a Netflix. Somebody don't be like, bro, why you got Netflix? You don't know what to watch. You just know Netflix got so many damn shows. If you really sat down, you'll watch something. It might be great, it might not, but so that's what these subscription services do. They just allow us to, if we're bored and we're not playing our main thing, cool. What I feel bad for, not feel bad because everybody has preference, but the people who make the subscription service their main way to play games. One, the games don't stay, right? So at some point you might be really into that game and it goes. And here's another issue. These consoles, and Xbox said they're going to do it by the end of the year. So if I get a game on Xbox and it leaves, right, or xCloud, I could buy it on Xbox, but I can't get it back in the cloud. I don't like that. I don't like that. So, right. So for me, my advice is or just for me, my thing is subscription services for me has to be a optional extra side thing, right? Like you don't hear me be like, oh, I got this and only that. Now, Xbox does a great job. I can say I got an Xbox and I'm not buying games no more. I'm only going to have Game Pass. Well, sure, because they add all their day-and-day games. So, right? But if I don't want to buy the console, so I wouldn't get PlayStation 5 and say I'm getting PlayStation Plus because they're sporadic. You don't know what games they're getting, right? So I just wanted to add that in there. And FCAT, just want you to notice though, all right? Hear me out.
Yeah.
And now your mama knows. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, FCAT, what you got any last things to say about everything in general? Oh, one thing I want to add, because this is the second person that said this. So Rudigs, look, some people don't know. Ellis said, isn't Stadia a subscription service? It's not. That's crazy. You want to explain it, Rudigs?
Well, you know what's so Stadia has 3 different tiers. It's a free tier. You have accessible games. I believe 6 to 8 games are accessible by free. Then you can purchase games a la carte. So if there's not 6 to 8 games,
wrong.
Okay.
All right. Well,
you can buy a game on free tier.
No, he didn't say you couldn't.
Any game, and still play online on any game.
No, he didn't say that wasn't a thing. He was actually breaking it down. All he said was you got games, you got free games. Here, I'm gonna pull it up. But go ahead.
I was just saying, you have access to the free tier. If you go on, you have access to about 6 to 8 games, maybe less than that, and you have access to, I believe, over 100 demos. Now, if you're going into the a la carte model, you're able to purchase any game on Stadia, and it stays in your library permanently. And so you can just access that, play that without subscription. However, you are capped at 1080p. To get that 4K, you have to subscribe. And with subscription, along with 4K, you get access to their library of subscribed games. So right now, I believe that's about 50 or so games.
And let me do show and tell.
Wait. Let me apologize.
Go ahead.
I didn't know about the a la carte thing. Is that the thing where you skip putting in your credit card?
No. A la carte just means you could buy whatever you want. So you could just a la carte, like pick and choose what game you want to put in your card.
He said so there was 3 tiers. The first one he mentioned.
Well, let me go through it then, right? Show and tell. So check it out. So free to play. These are free to play games. So Creative, Destiny, Hitman, 9 to 5, Outcasters, PUBG, Super Animal Rail, Super Bomberman Online. Which is, can we still play this game? I thought they was closing this out.
Yeah, that's going to be delisted soon.
Okay. Well, anyway, so guys, so if you got to Google a Gmail, you could sign up for Stadia and play on your phone, your laptop, your Chromecast, and these games right here you can play 100% free, cost you nothing online. Now, the next thing Rudigs was telling us about is if you scroll up to here, now the subscription you guys asked about, yes, you could go to Stadia Pro games, okay? And these games, if you pay $9.99 a month, you have access to Time on Frog Island, Five Nights at Freddy's, Centipede, Rogue Book, Those Who Remain, Worms, Death Run TV, Lake, Deliver Us the Moon, Through the Darkest Times, City Skylines, Lamote.
Awesome game.
Which one? City Skylines?
Yeah, I'm an architect, so.
Okay. All right, cool. Golf with your friends. But you shouldn't have watched when I was playing. That was terrible. Golf with your friends. World War Z still on here. City Legends. I thought I said City Legends twice. Oh no, City Skylines. All right. Dawn of the Monsters, which is great. Adam Wolf, Race with Ryan, Fast and the Furious, which is the best racer on here. Just saying. One Hand Clapping, Chicken Police, Wreckfest, Wavetail, which I think is the best indie I ever played. Saints Row, Ben 10, Merck's Market, Darkwood, Arcs, which and a lot of people know Arc, Paw Patrol, Grime, which is pretty excellent. Control, a lot of people like. Bloodstained, spiritual successor to Castlevania. Ease Monstrum Nox, Ease 9, which a lot of people I heard on Xbox was upset because they love JRPGs and it didn't come, but it's in Stadia Pro. 100 Day of Fine Simulator, Legend of Keepers, Outriders, which is a AAA game. And it's $9.99, guys. There it is. Nanotale, Killer Queen Black, Kaze, Terraria, It Came from Outer Space, Ate Our Brains, Pixel Junk Raiders, Epistory, Journey to the Savage Planet, Toho, Destroy All Humans, Fogs is how they pronounce it, I believe, Cake Bash, Republic, Hitman, Wave Break, and Darksiders Genesis. Guys, for $9.99 a month, you get all these games. This is their subscription service, but a la carte, as you heard Rudiggs explain to you, is simply this. Let's see. All games. You could go to Stadia. I'm just going to scroll down. I'm not going to go through them all. And you could purchase any game on the services. As you can see, they got so many Assassin's Creed games. Because they got many Ubisoft games. Borderlands, as you can see, Chorus. I mean, it goes on and on.
There's also a fourth way to play Stadia, which I forgot about, is the Ubisoft Plus. So if you have Ubisoft Plus without a Stadia subscription, you can just jump into Stadia and play the Ubisoft games off of Stadia.
Okay, so I was under the impression Stadia only had 2 tiers.
Nope.
So the first one, the free one, okay, that's the one where you don't put in your credit card and you skip it, and you can only play free stuff, right?
That's 8 games right now, and about 100 demos.
So I thought you still have to put in your credit card. So actually, we left out
one for free tiers. Then you have to cancel it.
So I think the free tier you still have to create a Stadia account. This is what's free. The free thing, or not free, but the thing that you don't have to set your account, which we left this out, Rudig, is the right here is the trials. So Stadia also had trials, and this is where you don't need a Stadia account at all. You just could click on a link, go to stadia.com, click on a link, and you got all these games, guys. So look at this. I mean, this is a bunch of games that you could just click and play, but it's a trial, remember. So there's certain time that you get, and then it's going to run out. So if you click on
Dragon Quest, 2 hours. Like some of these trials are crazy.
Yeah, like for instance, Far Cry Primal, right? Let's just click on it. So you got 60 minutes. So yeah, guys,
all those options. Far Cry Primal is a perfect one because you can play it on Ubisoft Plus, you can play on Stadia, or you can play on a la carte options. So
the main problem is trying to explain how to get into free tier Stadia. And you have to explain that you put in your credit card, yes, but you don't get charged anything during the trial. Then you automatically cancel out Pro, and when it runs out, you can still play Stadia. You can still play,
but not for the trials though. So we got to make that clear. The trials you don't have to put your credit card, but yes, the free tier you do, which they should probably fix that. But for instance, here's all my games, guys. So look, stuff like Mortal Kombat is in there. Marvel Avengers. Sekiro was Game of the Year one year. I mean, they got some bangers in there. Outriders, Doom Eternal, Streets of Rage 4, Destiny, Resident Evil Village. So if you're talking about AAA titles, they got some, you know, Sniper Elite, Baldur's Gate, you know, 9 to 5, they got Pac-Man, PUBG. I mean, look at it. They got some bangers in there. Elder Scrolls. I mean, some stuff you've Samurai Showdown, Death by Daylight. A lot of you guys might be like, wait, look at those games. Now, my only issue is going forward, right? They came out great with these games, but going forward, they're just backing down. Look at this, Red Dead Redemption in there. So I just want you guys to see some of the you know, the wrestling, Saints Row, you know, and a lot of these games I didn't pay for it. They was in the subscription service, right? But I did buy this for my wife. They got all the Life is Strange games, so that's cool. Even the new one, True Colors, that came out. JRPGs. Look at Cold Steel, Legend of Cold Steel. So they got a lot of stuff. But my gripe is just simply going forward, they're not keeping this same you know, variety of games.
So Stadia's problem is the fact that you put in your credit card to make an account or whatever, and it turns people off. It makes people think they're gonna get charged for something, you know, and it turns them off from it. And also, they also believe when the trial runs out that Stadia's no more good on install.
Thank you very much.
I just went through the whole process, set up a new Stadia account. You do not have to put in your credit card. You can say no thanks, and then you just get access to the store, the trials. You can buy a la carte.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for doing that. You guys heard that? Like, tell them again.
And then it says get Stadia Pro at the top here.
But what can you play? Can you play every game or just?
Let's see if I
can you share your screen?
Destiny 2.
Rudex, can you share your screen?
Because from what I heard, it's only the free games. You can only play the free games when you skip putting in your credit card.
Well, he just did it, right?
Right, you can do it. You can skip the credit card, but it'll only let you play the free stuff.
See, my thing I always heard was
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, when they offer like Stadia Pro for free,
but you have to put in your credit card to be able to buy the other games and play those.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's pretty awesome.
Check it out, guys.
So it's confusing. The way Stadia does it is confusing, and they don't break this stuff down to us. We have to figure out this stuff ourselves.
So check it out. He's showing his screen right here. But that's interesting. Your screen is like vertical and not horizontal.
But for some reason it linked with my family. So I don't know if that affects anything.
Yeah, if your family's sharing, it might show all your games.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where the free-to-play is, because I did not hook up a credit card with this. What's a free-to-play? Outcasters, right?
Yeah, or Destiny.
Yeah, see, shared by family. Yeah, this maybe wasn't the greatest example, but I didn't put it. It said no. There was an option to say no thanks.
That's great.
Yeah, I knew about the no thanks thing, but I was weary about what you can play when you don't put it in, because from what I heard, it's only free games.
Yeah, and that would make sense, right?
Right.
That's the free to play
card still, and cancel it to enter the other tier, the free tier.
Let me check you guys out. Sony is kind of falsely advertising 8K out the box. Yeah, that's. It would be great if nowadays you see something, say it does something and it does it, and instead of down the road.
I showed Cowboy a video. I actually asked that question to Angry Joe, and he said he didn't understand how Stadia was free because he figured it was a paid subscription thing and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, you can go onto the Stadia website without any sign up of your Gmail and just play the
Right.
trials. But if you sign up with your Gmail without credit card, you get access to the free games and then a la carte options.
But like he'll die to his tomb saying Stadia ain't free.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have made it easier for people, but just look at
Right.
it. 2 people watching the stream today thought Stadia wasn't free. So,
So
that's really on Google to kind of put that out there better, to be honest.
right. So let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this right now.
Mhm.
If Stadia came out and said, "Hey, we're free," how many people would jump on? Actually jump on now that Stadia is slowly, quote unquote, dying.
So here's the thing. It's all about advertisement. You don't go see a movie unless it looks good and appealing. So Stadia can't just come out and say, hey, we're free. Gamers are going to be like, okay, well, we already, like if you're a gamer today, chances are you're already playing games somewhere. So if you was to say, now I want to play somewhere new, there has to be a reason. Free is a good reason, but what am I going to play? Okay, you're free. Cool. But what do you offer, right? What can I get for free, right? So that's the thing. And those free games, I don't think is that appealing to make somebody say, oh, great. But if your advertisement is, oh, it works on your phone and it works here and it works there and it's free and you can play these games, then somebody might be like for me with Destiny, right? I'm going to buy the Destiny, some of the DLC, and not really get back into it, but I just want to play the story and see the story, right, before they take it away. So obviously I'll play it the most on my Stadia, because now when I go somewhere, I can play it wherever, right? So that's a good point for me to play a game that's cross-play on everything. But if it was only, oh, Stadia's free and you could play it over there, and I didn't have a need to play it all over, why would I get it? So, it just depends on advertisement. They just have to really do a great job.
What I meant by is the online, like if they said they were free online.
But anyway, guys, I think we're adding some really good feedback on these subscription services. People have some really good stuff in there. Isn't Stadia a subscription service? So we did answer that. Said it was optional. Main did say the show was dope. Oh, Amazon Ron is in the building. Peace. Shadow PC is dead. He's gonna keep going on with that. All Xbox first party games don't leave Game Pass, and they give you a 2-month warning when games are taken off the case. So that is pretty cool, and you get a discount. My only issue with that, Ellis, is if you're a cloud gamer, if you love that game and like it a lot, and you play it on xCloud, once it goes, they don't bring it back to xCloud. But they did say by the end of the year they was going to change that. So when they do, that's going to be great. Let me see. Yep. And then Squidge is in the building. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's about it. I think we kind of, man, this was a very impactful show. Thank you guys for joining in. I told myself I wanted to start to cut down on the show a little bit and make it 2.5 hours. But this isn't bad, adding an extra half an hour, going to 3 hours. I mean, there's no rush, but it just would give me more time to maybe get off, do something with my wife, or even play some video games. Because if I'm on here talking all this time, then if I get off a little bit early, then I can play some games and not just talk. But Brewdix, thank you so much, brother. Listen, please, for the love of God, inbox me on Stadia or something when you guys are streaming on Sundays, because I always forget. But I want to tune into a show, and that's my fault. I'm sorry that I forget. Thank you for coming in, giving all your insight. And I'm not gonna get mad at you for ignoring me today on your stream earlier when I was watching. And but it would look cool when you guys was playing Cyberpunk. That was cool. I was watching. But now, were you playing? Because it sounded like your buddy was playing.
Yeah, that would have been Nad. So
okay.
you can tell because he's got that French accent.
Yeah, but I heard you talking though. You were talking.
Yeah, probably just hopping in on the party chat, seeing what's up.
Yeah, I heard. Okay, yeah, I heard you. I could tell the way he was talking. He was playing, but you were talking to him. So I didn't know how your setup was.
I'm out, Cowboy.
All right, FCAT, thanks, man. I want to say thank you for joining as well.
Good talking to you, FCAT.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining. But with that said, guys, yeah, I just want to say, listen, you guys was great. I think this was an epic show. And the last thing I got to say for that, Rue Diggs and the cat. Oh, also, we got to thank Coach for coming on as well. And now your mama knows. She knows now. All right, guys. Have a good day. Later.
And now your mama knows.
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon.